What's up, Barnhill family, and welcome back to another Fight Companion live stream. This time we are watching and commenting on UFC Abu Dhabi, and it's an early one for me here in Texas, guys. Let me make sure we got everything working well. Let me know if you guys can hear me as you come into the chat. So, interesting prelims so far. There was some, obviously, Walter Walker now 5 leg lock submissions. He didn't get his signature heel hook that he was hoping for, but he got a leg lock submission nonetheless. Unbelievable within like the first 90 seconds of the very first round. We got Nick Barnhill, Yo-Yo, Heather O'Neill. I can hear you. Thank you so much, Heather. How are you today? Appreciate you being here in the live. Let me know, guys, what did y'all think? Let me get this desk a little cleared off so it looks professional here. What did you guys think of the prelims? So I'll give you my thoughts, and I'll just go from the bottom to the top. So Abdul Hussein versus Cody Gibson. I was impressed with Hussein, but there's a limit to how impressed I was. I think that he looked good, not great, against a guy that was 10 years his senior, that really took the fight on short notice, was kind of gassed midway through the second round. And I think that he could have done a little bit more. He ultimately found his finish at the end, which was good. If it had gone to decision, I may have been a little bit more critical. But I do think Abdul Hussein is a promising prospect, but I'd like to see a little bit more out of him in his next outing. But all in all, a good fight. Moving on up, Nurullo Aliyev versus Mike Davis. So Aliyev just too much in the grappling. I mentioned this in my breakdown when we were breaking this fight down with the live stream that I did on Thursday with Moneyball MMA. You know, Aliyev is a really good grappler, and he beat a friend of ours, Rafa Alves, who's like an explosive ball of muscle, who's a high-level grappler himself. And Nurullo was able to hold him down for the majority of the fight and get the decision win. And, you know, seeing that, I just didn't think that Mike Davis would have enough. Now, when you look at the way that Aliyev won the fight and the way that he wins most of his fights, he's kind of a takedown, lay and pray, rinse, repeat, just enough ground and pound to not have the fight stood up. So interesting. It will be interesting to see what the UFC does with him, because I don't think he's got that style that they're just chomping at the bit to fast track. So, yeah, let me know what you guys thought about the those first two fights. And then moving into the third fight, Magomed Tuchalov versus Brendan Ribeiro. Now, Tuchalov was one of the – now, Dulatov has been scrapped from the card, unfortunately, due to an illness. So I think that would have made Magomed Tuchalov the biggest betting favorite on the card. And I'm going to be honest, I was a little bit underwhelmed. It was a close fight, 2-1. I mean, if you wanted to give it to Ribeiro, I could see, you know, a case being made for that second round being a little bit close, definitely when you're talking about damage. Tuchalov looked a little bit gun-shy to pull the trigger. I was a little bit underwhelmed with how aggressive he was. And, you know, this guy, they're touting him as this, you know, electric finisher coming out of Dagestan, gets a lot of stuff done with the striking on the feet. He just didn't really get off in the fight. Ended up getting cracked in the first round. Had to go to his wrestling, but a lot of single shots, a lot of backing up. I really wasn't the biggest fan. I was expecting more out of him in his UFC debut, to be honest with you. Now, Ribeiro is a dog. He's been around for a long time. But I feel like when you come into the UFC as a minus 800 favorite and everybody's touting you as a prospect in the light heavyweight division, you got to show up a little bit more than that and not win the fight with lay and pray grappling. So all in all, a little bit underwhelmed with Magomed Tuchalov. Axel Souza getting the win over Ismail Bonfim. Bonfim was my pick here. So this was the first one on the card that I got incorrect as far as my predictions are concerned. Now, Bonfim was the underdog, but I thought that he had enough skill and enough experience to get the job done against Axel Souza, who's coming into this fight, you know, with visible scar tissue, and his face is not healed from his fight just 3 or 4 months ago. So I thought that would play a factor. It didn't. You know, he overwhelmed Bonfim and got the finish. So congrats to him. Moving on in, let me just check and see here. We got 16 in the chat now. Let me just shout out MLE5NA. Is the Ankalaev bout the number one contender fight? That's a great question, and it's hard to tell with light heavyweight, isn't it? Because it should be. Ankalaev was the champion. His last outing was a loss, where he lost his belt. So had it been Khalil Roundtree versus Magomed, I feel like for sure if he'd have beaten Khalil, he'd be back in the running. But Bogdan Guskov coming in on short notice, what will the UFC do if he wins that fight? That he should win because he's a 4.5-1 favorite. I think so. I think all in all, we have to see what's going to happen with Carlos Ulberg. There's just a lot of variables. Is Khamzat Chimaev moving up to 205? What's going to happen with Costa? But I think the short answer to your question is yes. I do think that he should be the number one contender. And I think Nick said here for Ank, yes, but for Bogdan, probably not. Yeah, Bogdan probably does not get a title shot with a win here. And then we got Based in the chat. Yo, what's up, Base Volkanovski? Enjoyer. Good to see you, my friend. Glad that you're getting an opportunity across the pond to watch fights at what is probably more of a reasonable hour for you. And we are getting into the main card here, but I just want to touch on the final three of the prelims. So Sam Patterson looked good. Santiago Ponzinibbio, almost 40 years old. Sam Patterson was the guy here that, needed to get the job done, and he did just that. Looked powerful, stepped up the aggression as Ponzinibbio got hurt. He wasn't in a rush to get anything done, but every time you could see that Santiago was feeling a shot or was rocked by a shot, he would ratchet up the aggression just a notch. And so I think he did a really good job, of getting a veteran out of there. I was impressed with Sam Patterson. If we're being critical, some of those hooks that he was throwing were a little bit on the loopy side for my take. And when he backs up out of strikes, he gets awfully tall and his chin is kind of there on a platter. Now, Santiago wasn't able to capitalize on it, but he threw a couple of big shots that almost landed. All in all, good job, Sam Patterson. Now, my MVP of the prelims, Mohamed Saidov. Dustin Jacoby, this was my second incorrect pick of the night. I'm still, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 2. So I'm 5 and 2 on the night so far. But Mohamed Saidov, I did not think would have enough firepower to beat Dustin Jacoby, who I think is a very good, and even as an older fighter, a bit underrated. He looked really sharp. Really good in the pocket, really good discipline with his hands, great shot selection. And then that finishing sequence, the strike to the kicks, hands to kicks, high to low. I loved every bit of it. So Mohamed Saidov is my MVP of the prelims. And of course, I say that, but then you look at Walter Walker, 5 leg lock submissions in a row now. Now, a lot of people were expecting heel hook. I called Walter Walker by submission. What you have to understand is, especially in submission grappling, there's chains of things, right? One of the first things you learn in jiu-jitsu is an arm bar from the guard, very basic stuff. And typically what somebody will do if they're in an arm bar from the guard is they'll, posture up and jerk that hand out. And then that opens up the triangle. And then when they defend the triangle properly, you roll it into an omoplata. You don't really see omoplatas all that much or triangles really in the UFC. But I'm using that to illustrate my point here. Walter Walker goes for that heel hook, that inside heel hook. Now, Thomas Peterson defended it well. So Walter Walker was able to get to the back, which then opens up either a back take or a calf slicer, which is exactly what he did. So what we're seeing is Walter Walker's not necessarily a one-trick pony with the leg locks. He can do the full sequence. He just hasn't had to in his last 4 fights. But he showed us this time that he can. So very, very good stuff out of Walker and Walker and Saidov, my 2 MVPs of the prelims. We got Sean Baller in the chat. What's up, Sean? Good to have you back here, my friend. Thanks for joining. Let's see here. Only 5 p.m. I'm actually mentally present during a card for once. I love it, dude. That's so yeah, it should wrap about 8 o'clock your time. Plenty of time to go out and get some dinner or whatever it is you're going to do for the rest of the night. 2 week. Sean, who are you talking about as far as 2 week of competition to judge? Is that Walker or is that Saidov? Let's see here. Was impressed by Walker, Saidov, and Patterson. Other than that, nobody on the prelims really performed amazing for me. Agreed. Those were the 3 MVPs of the card for sure. Hamzat in his corner, not very surprising. He seems to always be in his teammates' corners. Yeah, for sure. Oh, yeah. Sean Baller says Sam Patterson. Yeah, that's the thing. We need to see a little bit more out of him. Somebody who's not a 40-year-old, well past his prime guy who's a little bit on the chinny side. I didn't like the loopy hooks, and I didn't like the backing up with the straight, very straight, very sort of chin high stance. So, he's got to clean those things up. He's going to get cracked by somebody who's really high level if he continues doing that. But at least it's somebody that's not Michael Venom Page, right? He kind of got done dirty against MVP, and the UFC kind of threw him a bone here. I'd like to see him take on a guy in the top 12, maybe 12, 13, 14, 15. Let's look at the rankings, shall we? While we wait for this this first fight to get announced, and then we will call it. Chris, do you have the time clock for today? Chris will get the time clock up so you guys can lock in with where I am. And let us see here. If we look at welterweight, there's the rankings. I'm still trying to figure out how to toggle between the meta and the media. So if we look at, MVP is number 12. Then you have D-Rod, Euros Medic at 14, and Yaroslav Amosov at 15. I actually don't hate, if D-Rod loses to Euros Medic next week, I actually don't hate that as the next fight for Sam Patterson. They would line up schedule-wise. I know you normally put winners versus winners and losers versus losers, but D-Rod's a meaningful name. That would be fun. And, guys, we are just on our first fight of the night here. So Chris is going to put that time clock up on the screen, and we will call this fight live. Mike Beltran getting things started here. We have Vagar versus Isgamachayev. The names have been a challenge for me tonight, guys. I will be honest. So, super aggressive right out of the gate by Vagayev. Got the takedown sort of in the open guard of Saigid. Saigid looking to build into a butterfly guard and potentially sweep here. So he's got the butterfly. We'll see what he's able to do. Vagayev trying to neutralize those leg hooks that Saigid has. Working towards passing the guard. Chris, can you put the poll up from your...
No, not on my end.
Okay, I'll put it up here. Who wins the opener?
Hey, and listen, if there is a team of people that get you prepared for this type of fight, it's the team of people that Sagitta's training with. Right? Because
all right, guys. We got the first poll of the night up. We haven't seen a whole lot yet. We've seen about a minute. Vagayev really, really aggressive with the grappling. Saigid has made his way back to his feet, but he's still pinned up against the cage. Couple of knees thrown by either guy, but we're really looking to see who wins this pummeling battle here. Who can get the double unders or get to a better position as Vagayev gets their beautiful takedown, but then nicely reversed by Saigid. And Vagayev is now back against the wall. Position is now reversed. Vagayev has Saigid up against the cage again. Looks like we got a little bit of blood on the right eye of Saigid. Vagayev looked like he was working a single there for a second, but then abandoned it. Nice knee to the body by Saigid. Really high grappling pace so far. Vagayev back on top on the ground. So we have a full guard for Saigid, and Vagayev looking to break the posture, or he's having his posture broken, looking to posture back up and create the sufficient distance to throw some elbows that are actually meaningful. Throwing a little bit, but nothing of substance yet, because Saigid has done a pretty good job of keeping Vagayev close to his body there, which is exactly what you want to do in this situation. You don't want somebody who can just posture up and tee off on you. You want to kind of keep them close to your body until you can mount some sort of sweep or reversal. That cut's starting to open up a little bit more of Vagayev. I don't know if it's so much the punches or if it's the head grinding. Could be a little bit of a mixture of both. Izigak Maiev working his way to the fence there. Vagayev just really smothering with the top pressure here. Working towards passing the guard now. He's got to be careful. He's in sort of a, it's not super threatening, but he is in sort of a heel hook position there. And looks like Izigak Maiev looking to use that to take the back. Now he got a nice sweep of his own. Beautiful. There's some really nice grappling exchanges in this fight so far, guys. But Vagayev back again in control with Izigak Maiev against the cage. Okay, we have double unders for Vagayev here. So Izigak Maiev, this round's kind of getting away from him. He needs to do something. He needs to land something big here if he wants to try to steal this round away here with 46 seconds left to go. Ooh, that looked like a little bit of a low blow there by Vagayev, but not a whole lot of oomph on it. Double unders for Vagayev, looking for off balance. But Izigak Maiev is doing a good job of, ooh, that was a beautiful knee by Saigid there off the break. That one got Vagayev's attention, and Vagayev looks a little bit tired. I mean, he's done a lot of offensive grappling for the better part of 5 minutes here. Nice low calf kick for Izigak Maiev. Beautiful straight right by Izigak Maiev. He's coming on strong at the end of this round, but I don't think all in all it's going to be enough to win the round for him, but, you know, solid finish to the round there. All right, in the chat, let's see. We got 6 votes. Vagayev is 67% winning the vote here. Guys, if you haven't voted yet, get your votes in before the second round starts. That way we know none of this is too biased. Let's see here. Even next week's card is only an hour later, too. Yeah, what time is next week's card? I haven't even looked into it yet. Let me see here. That's right. Yeah, 12 p.m. because it's in Europe. So, man, that's perfect. I tell you what, I love these early cards. I mean, I'm a dad with a young son and another one on the way. So, like, knocking these out early is it allows me to have some family time on my Saturday at the end of the day. So, I'm all for the early cards, man. And I know you must be too, Based. Let's see. Patterson did call out the winner of next week's main. Yeah, I think the winner of next week's main is moving on to bigger and better things, especially if it's Euros Medic. I think he is a really, really high-level fighter who the UFC has big plans for. I could see them moving him into like a Leon Edwards or something like that. Sean Baller. Abu Dhabi crowd is accepting this Boar Fest. Yeah, this is not the most, I mean, it's high level grappling that's taking place, but not a whole lot of, fan favorite sort of action. AFC, congrats on the new baby on the way, brother. Thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate that. We are very excited. October the 30th is the due date. So just around the corner, guys, we will have another addition to the Barnhill family, as it were. So this is another boy too. So I'm a boy dad. You know, my son is 3.5, and then I have another one coming. So he'll be just shy of his 4th birthday. Nice shot there by Vagayev. Let's see. We get a little bit more action on the feet to start this second round, answered by a good straight jab by Saigid. Ooh, beautiful lead uppercut there by Vagayev. We get a little bit more action on the feet here in the second round. Going to be interesting to see who shoots first. Both guys seem to be content sort of in boxing range right now, exchanging low calf kicks, exchanging some punching combos. Looks like it's Saigid, Izigak Maiev, looking for the level change in the double. So he completes the double leg, and now Vagayev working to get back to his feet. He was able to get to the cage and then use the cage to get himself back to his feet. Nice knee there by Saigid. Vagayev turning back into Saigid, Izzy Gakmaev, and getting double unders. Yeah, I'd like to see Vagayev. I mean, he looked pretty gassed from all the grappling in the first round, and he seemed to have some nice combos there in the striking with that that rear side uppercut, couple of good 1-2s. I think Vagayev should maybe create some distance here and try to strike a little bit more. He does have a cut open on his opponent. Sort of aim for that. See if you can open that up a bit more. Kind of open this fight up a little bit. Here we go. So we got some distance. We're back into boxing range. Let's see what happens. Low calf kick for Saigid. Clinch now for Vagayev. Beautiful body uppercut there by Vagayev. Yeah, that body shot did. Laura Sanko saying that body shot got to Izzy Gakmaev. I agree. He looks a little bit mouth open right now. I don't think it did fight-ending damage, but he definitely felt it. Vagayev looking to get back to the double under position, potentially look for another takedown here. This fight has really been, aside from a couple of interesting exchanges in the boxing range, just, Vagayev controlling position mostly against the cage and in top position on the ground. So you gotta imagine he's winning the fight on the judges' scorecards, but optically certainly not the most exciting fight of the card. But he is showing a high grappling ability. Is Abubakar Vagayev. Yeah, this is just a fight for the underhook now, really. Okay, we're back to boxing range. And Izzy Gakmaev looking for a double again. And Abubakar gets double underhooks. All right. We're getting some 1-2 combinations for Vagayev. He's landing a nice uppercut off the slip. So significant strikes, round one, Vagayev 0. So, I mean, do you score? I guess you have to. He had ground control time, but just looking at the stats on the screen, it's hard to score a round for a guy with 0 significant strikes in the entire first round. He did control, but a beautiful knee there by Vagayev. But it'll be interesting to see when this goes to the judges' scorecards, if it goes to the judges' scorecards, what they have to say about that. Yeah, okay. Izzy Gakmaev, just again, DC is being a bit critical, and I do agree with Daniel here that Izzy Gakmaev is just conceding that position against the cage, and he's losing those minutes. Again, it's going to be interesting to see how they score the first round. I'm actually interested. Let me know in the chat, guys. Would you score a round for Abubakar Vagayev knowing that he did not land one single significant strike in the entire first round? That's interesting. I do have it 2-0. Moneyball in the chat. What's up, Moneyball? Thank you for being here. Let's see here. Forgive me if I pronounce your name wrong. Cat Krakon 5195. Maybe we are going to listen. We need a finish. Potentially. Very much a possibility. And thank you, everybody who's given me congrats on the new baby. I really appreciate you guys. Thanks so much. Congrats on another baby with the balloon. You're the best. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it. But yeah, let me know in the chat. How do you have this scored? Moneyball saying 2-0. I tend to agree with that. How did that cut get over his eye without landing a significant strike? That's a good question, Base. That's why I was kind of surprised to see that. When Abubakar was on the top position in the guard, their heads were clashing a little bit because Izzy Gakmaev was doing a good job in keeping the posture broken. And there may have been just a rubbing of the heads. That happens, eyebrow gets rubbed. The it could have been from that, but yeah, it's hard to imagine that and it is in a weird place. It is less of a place where a punch would land and more of a place where like a scrape would happen from heads. So I don't know. I'd have to go back and watch the first round and see if I can pick up on it. But we're getting some striking right out of the gate in the second or third round. I feel like I need to stop saying that, guys, because as soon as I say that, it's like almost like clockwork. One of the two guys will shoot as soon as I start to get excited about the striking. Beautiful straight right hand by Izzy Ankalaev there. I think he knows he needs a finish in this one, and he's certainly going for it. He's really picking up the striking. This is, kind of what Abu Bakr has got the snap down position here. Let's see what he does with it. It's going to be interesting to see if Izzy Ankalaev tries to keep the distance as much as he can and avoid grappling at all costs in this round. I think that's a beautiful takedown by Ankalaev there. Ankalaev looking to do some ground and pound sort of in the top position of the turtle. Some looping shots, nothing really available to him because Izzy Ankalaev has his head turned. It'd be very difficult with the one hand that Ankalaev does have free to land a punch because it would be a back of the head punch given the orientation of Saiget's head. All right, Izzy Ankalaev now back to his feet. Ankalaev on his back, probably looking to get a mat return here. Get a little close-up view of the hand fight. Nice sweep there by Izzy Ankalaev, like a Kimura sweep. Yeah. Okay. Ankalaev looking to reverse position again, and he does. Izzy Ankalaev needs to really, really spend all of his energy here to create distance and look for that shot because he's not going to win a decision at this point in time. And he was having some real success on the feet in the early part of this round. If I'm Izzy Ankalaev, I'm creating all the distance I can possibly create and looking for a kill shot in the last 120 seconds of this fight. You can't really... Okay, Mike Beltran breaking it up against the cage. Interesting here. So let's see what Izzy Ankalaev does. He's got just under 2 minutes to do it, or over 2 minutes. But yeah, Ankalaev just too much with the takedowns. Immediately a double off the break. And he's right back on top. Not a whole lot that he can do based on the orientation of Izzy Ankalaev's head. And okay, Izzy Ankalaev has gotten back to his feet now. He's got Ankalaev against the cage, but this is where he needs to separate. Don't go for a takedown here. Separate yourself. Okay, he's on top position. That's not horrible, but he's got to do something. He's got 90 seconds. He's in mount. He's got the arm triangle position, but the cage is going to be his worst enemy there because you need to dismount to the side. It's very difficult to get. Okay, he's creating the distance there. Can he get off and dismount? Ankalaev turning his back a little bit. It's not great to concede your back, but it is a way out of that position sometimes. Yeah, Izzy Ankalaev's got just over a minute to do something. Looks like somebody said in the chat there, I'm going to call you Cat because I don't know exactly how to pronounce it. Cat, he's going for a submission. Yeah, it seems like that's his preferred method of victory here. I thought he was going to create distance and strike again, but it looks like he feels like his best chance here in the final minute is a sub. Looking for that head and arm again, but again, the cage is kind of in his way. 30 seconds left. Yeah, Izzy Ankalaev. Ooh, looks like he snuck that rear naked choke, and I can't tell how. Okay, Ankalaev turned back to mount, so that's he's got the hand in the gift wrap position, but there's not really a choke available to him. He's only got 10 seconds. He's got to do something. Looking for a belly down arm bar. No, I don't know. Fight's going to end. Arm bar attempt, but that's too little, too late. So I definitely give the third round to Saiget Izzy Ankalaev, but I think it's 2-1 to Ankalaev. Let me know what you guys think. I'm going to end the poll here. Drop it in the chat. Let's see here. Just hop in the chat for a second. It did look like he had that cut in the clinch before they hit the ground. Yeah, very possible. Vagayev is tired. Yeah, he would that offensive grappling will do it to you. Would you and Moneyball do a fight companion together sometime? I'm down. Moneyball, are you still in the chat? Let us know. Excuse me. I'm certainly happy to do that. Probably the best way to do it would be next time Moneyball's in Houston, because it's kind of hard. Like, I know that's why we put the clock on the screen. It's kind of hard to, get exactly locked in on the right time. So if I'm 3 or 4 seconds ahead of her or vice versa, it's a little difficult. So probably the best way to do it would be in person. But of course, Moneyball's always welcome at the studio anytime. And I appreciate her dedication and effort that she puts into the research and stuff like that for these Thursdays that we're doing. Kat says he needed that takedown really bad for sure. He was getting tuned on the feet there for a second. High level grappling, low level fighting. Yeah, I mean, grappling is part of fighting based, but it's the striking was, it's disappointing because the striking actually looked pretty decent. There was some nice slips, some nice counters, some combos that were being put together. I don't think that either one of these guys doesn't know how to strike. So it would have been nice to see a little bit more of that. If you gave Saigon round 1, then he could sneak a 29-28. Yeah, I still don't give him round 1. The significant strike thing gave me pause, but I think 29-28 Vagayev. And yeah, you're usually 5 seconds-ish, but you just pause your TV. Yeah, that's kind of, but doing it on a live stream would be kind of difficult. But yeah, for sure, we'll work. If you guys want to see that, we'll work that out for sure. Okay, Abu Bakr, unanimous decision victory. So just like we thought, 2 rounds to 1, 1 and 2 for Abu Bakr. Hamzat in the corner there. Looks like Hamzat may be doing the translating tonight, guys. We'll see what he has to say. DC saying, good fight, good opponent. How great does it feel to come out with the victory? Okay, we're going to see what he says here when Hamzat translates.
He said he's happy for his victory.
He's happy for his victory, but he's not feeling too good about the performance. He can be better than what he showed today. Yeah, I agree. That's a pretty fair assessment, and that's a pretty honest assessment if you're assessing yourself. Moneyball's down for a fight companion. Let's do it. We'll pick a date, and we will maybe even a numbered card or a really good fight night, and we'll make that happen for you guys. And then Based said, by fighting, I mean, none of these guys are going to wake up in real pain. Yeah, these guys will be tired for a few minutes because they just, exerted themselves for 3 rounds, but nobody's going to wake up with a splitting headache tomorrow. That's for sure. Okay. Hamzat's English is getting better, isn't it, Chris?
Yeah.
So much. He thanks his coaches.
His country, our country, so he's happy to represent the country. He showed best way he can.
Proud of where he comes from. Thankful for his camp. Nothing, no call out, nothing real earth shattering. But yeah, good grappling performance. Would like to see more out of him on the feet. Would like to see him go for a finish a little bit more aggressively. But all in all, not a bad performance. Who we got next, Chris?
I don't know.
So,
is it the Rizvan versus Tyrone Fortune?
Yeah. So, yes, because there was Islam Dulatov was unfortunately pulled from the card. So we should have the heavyweights next: Rizvan Kunia versus Tyrell Fortune. So let me put that in the chat and see who you guys are taking in this next one. It does look like Urseg, doesn't it? Who wins this heavyweight clash? Kunaev or Fortune?
So Rizvan's a tough, bigger.
Oh, right.
He's real durable. I don't think that matters when Tyrell's doing what he wants.
So Tyrell's coach saying that Rizvan's durable, but you know, it's none of that's going to matter for what Tyrell Fortune wants to do. Saying that Rizvan has never seen somebody to the level of, I disagree with that. I mean, he fought Curtis Blades. I think Curtis Blades is a little bit higher pedigreed than Tyrell Fortune for sure. Saying they're gonna make this one dirty and nasty. Elbows, knees. Let's go. Saying Waldo in camp. Good sparring. I like the words from the coach there. He's feeling pretty confident. What are the odds on this one, Chris? Do we know?
Let me check. I've got Kuniev in my V only.
Yeah. You know, we talked about this, guys, in the breakdown that I did with Moneyball on Thursday. Anybody who's the statistic is something crazy. Over the last 6 cards in Abu Dhabi, if the fighter's last name ends in EV, AV, or OV, and the opponent's last name does not, that said opponent loses 24 out of 25 times. I think that the fighters with the last name ending in V are 25-1 against fighters whose last name do not end in V. Now, a lot of people think Steve Urseg is going to spoil that. He even got called Steve Ursegoff in the chat. I think that may have been you based that said that, but minus 320 for Rizvan. He seemed confident, but at the same time, imagine he's like, yeah, I mean, we might win, hopefully, if we get lucky. Yeah, true. But I kind of liked what he was saying. Like he had like some specific, methods to victory and reasons for it. So, it wasn't just kind of fluff talk. I feel like they, I'm still going Kuniev, don't make any mistake. But I think Fortune's dangerous early. It's going to be interesting early to see what happens. So this was supposed to be a 6-fight main card, huh?
Yeah.
Because we have 1, 2, 3, 4 left. So, okay, yeah, with Islam Dulatov coming off. Did anybody see what happened to Islam? I just saw illness, but nothing more than that. Infection?
I don't know what kind, but that's what his manager said on his Instagram.
I wonder if it was like a staph infection. Let me see if I can find out anything on that. If anybody knows, let me know in the chat. Islam Dulatov. Yeah, it just shows a statement from his Instagram. Looks like his manager wrote for him. Over the past few days, our management team has been running Islam's account so he could stay fully focused on his fight preparation. Over the last several weeks, Islam has given everything and has had to be at his absolute best for tonight. It's with great disappointment that we have to share the following news. Last night, Islam was admitted to the hospital due to an infection. Good call on that, Chris. And spent several hours receiving medical treatment. Despite every effort to keep the fight on, the decision was made together with the UFC to withdraw him from the bout in the interest of his health and well-being. Right now, his only priority is for Islam to make a full recovery. He will personally address everyone with a statement as soon as he's able to. We are truly sorry, especially for all the fans who are looking forward to this fight and have supported Islam every step of the way. Okay, so sort of your, boilerplate response. I mean, if Islam is hospitalized with an infection and, whether he was released last night or this morning or whatever the case may be, they definitely made the right call. You don't want to take a guy who's a really promising prospect and a massive favorite and make him fight immediately off of coming out of a hospital stint, especially for, if you're sick enough with a quote unquote illness to be hospitalized, you probably have no business fighting in a cage. But what's odd to me is that he came to the ceremonial weigh-ins yesterday. Chris, did you see those?
I didn't watch him, but he was there.
Yeah, he was, very high energy, like very aggressive, very high energy. Didn't seem like anything was wrong. Yeah, Dulatov had an infection. Yeah, infection. Yeah, nothing more than that. I wonder if it was staph or what it was. Cells Unite. Metitude, what's up? Thanks for joining. Walter Walker calling out Herb Dean still has me cracking up. Walter's a character, man. 5 leg locks in a row. The guy, are we going to see somebody become a UFC champion off of leg locks? Oh, UFC just announced UFC 333 in Abu Dhabi on October 24th. Okay. Did they announce who the main event is? I have not seen that. You may be ahead of us there. Oh, I'm reading here on Google. It's Gemini. Gemini could clearly be wrong. It's saying it's headlined by a heavyweight bout featuring Aspinall and Gane. Is that
That was last year's, right?
Oh, no, that may have been last year's. No. It's saying Saturday, October 24th, 2026. That's just AI. It could be AI. Good old-fashioned AI slop. But let's see. Let's see if we can confirm this thing. Yeah, I don't see that they've announced a fighter yet or a main event. But we shall see. We shall see. Okay, yeah. So we got in the chat 7 votes, 86% for Kanayev, 14% for Terrell Fortune, and Based saying, I don't believe there's been a main announced yet. Yeah, I can't find anything. AI saying that it's Gane versus Aspinall. That would make sense time-wise, right, Chris? Like, I mean,
it would be very wrong to do that to Tom Aspinall.
Very wrong to do that to Tom.
Same place, the same opponent, where you had the worst injury of your career.
Yeah, that.
Cyril Gane be like, I'm ready to do it again.
Tom's got his goggles and he's heading to Abu Dhabi. All right, guys. Those of you Based, you're not watching on Paramount, right? I'm wondering what do you guys watch it on in the UK? Because Paramount, I love not paying for pay-per-views. Don't get me wrong. I'm not being picky here, but these advertisements during the fight walkouts, they're like 190 seconds long. So I can see the little thing ticking down in the top left corner of my screen here. And it's like, advertisement number 2 of 7, 3 of 7. Yeah, that's exactly what. Okay, so you watch on TNT Sports. Do you have to pay for those cards, or do you get it for free now with the TNT subscription? Or is TNT even a subscription, or is it like our ESPN in the same place? Yeah, that's exactly what Chris was saying. Like, it's imagine if Tom Aspinall has to go back to the same place and fight the same opponent that caused all that ruckus last year and caused Tom to be sidelined for almost a year. Imagine if he eye pokes him again.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like Cyril Gane has cleaned up the fouls. He came out and, again, I think he beat Alex off of skill. A lot of people say that, that was all because of the fouls. I'm not of that mindset, but at the same time, he hasn't cleaned his game up. He's still the same dirty fighter that he was when he fought, Cyril Gane, when he fought Alex Pereira. Just thank God it wasn't as egregious and Alex Pereira didn't end up in surgery afterwards.
They get Tom through all that situation and then blocks the ref beforehand to give him the rules, and it's Herb Dean.
Yeah.
Like, oh, shit, I might as well.
Chris said, imagine if they give him Herb Dean as the ref for that fight as well. If there's anything I can guarantee you, it will be that Herb Dean is not going to be the ref. Okay, so interesting. There's 2 cards a year you have to pay pay-per-view for. TNT is a subscription. We usually have to pay for numbered card headlined by English people. So Aspinall, but the McGregor, that is interesting. So you have to pay for cards that are headlined by Brits. I guess TNT knows how to make the money, right? They know that's the one that most people in the UK or those would be the ones people in the UK are most interested in. I got to know, Base, did you, it wasn't televised, but did you see the clips from Tyson Fury versus what the heck was that guy's name that he boxed yesterday?
Oh, I didn't
know. It wasn't televised. It was like a charity event in Thailand. Oh. And I think because Tyson has his family's reality show on Netflix, there was some sort of conflict of it not being aired. So it wasn't even aired. Weird, but I saw some clips, but he looked a little slow. I'm wondering how excited the UK is for AJ versus Fury. I mean, it's a good that they're making the fight, but I feel like it's so many years too late. Let's get into this heavyweight fight, and then we'll hop back into Fury in a minute. Nice low quad kick by Terrell Fortune to start things out. Kanayev working the center of the cage. Terrell Fortune sort of working the outside there. Kanayev feinting some rear side kicks there. Nice push kick by Kuniev. Okay. Terrell Fortune landed a nice step-in straight punch of his own. And Kaniev immediately switched stances off of that. Okay, we got double unders for Kaniev, but Terrell Fortune did a good job of pummeling out and circling. Fortune looking for that jab. Number 8 versus number 9 here, guys. So you got to imagine, you know, the winner of this will be looking at a top five billing. Not that they'll be top 5, but their next opponent will probably be someone in the top 5. I'd like to see Kaniev get some more some finishes. You know, I think he's good. I think his skills are good. That was a beautiful quad kick there by Fortune. Oh, beautiful straight punch followed up by Terrell Fortune there. Kaniev ate that well. That was a hard shot. Kaniev looking to put that front leg in the back after those couple of powerful kicks there. Nice body knee by Fortune, and then another one by Kaniev there. Both guys. Fortune looking to rush in with some straight punches. I think he's having some real success with this low kick followed up by good straight punches to the face. So I'd stick with that. I think if he starts to rush in too much, Kaniev will get the timing and start to land on him. Nice lead body knee by Kaniev. Partially blocked by Fortune, but looked like that second one may have made it through. Couple good body knees there by Rizvan Kaniev. Lorosenko said, looks like he was thinking about spinning there for a second. I didn't see that so much, but high kick for Terrell Fortune, misses the mark a little bit, but he's right back to that low kick, and he's landing that well. Nice push kick by Kaniev there. Fortune needs to work that straight right off of the low leg kick. He had a real success with that. Beautiful body, but he's got to put something on Kaniev, or Kaniev's just going to keep leading with these body knees and forcing him against the cage. Oh, nice straight right by Fortune. He's quick, yeah, very fast. But Kaniev eating him well so far, not really showing any signs of being wobbled or, you know, no loose legs or anything like that. Kaniev's still very much on his feet. It's a nice push kick Kaniev's got there. Ooh, spinning kick to the body. That one made its way through. That one got Fortune's attention. Fortune shelling up. Yeah. Kaniev's head hunting, but go to the body again. Go to the body. You just hurt him really bad to the body. Don't headhunt. Don't be so quick for okay, and then he ate an uppercut there. Yeah, DC just took the words right out of my mouth. He said he should have recognized that a body shot could have gotten the job done. Man, this was what showed really, really high-level strikers from good strikers know how to go to the body when they have their opponents hurt. Yeah, I'll take a coffee. Yeah, thanks, buddy. Looking for that knee again. Terrell Fortune's hurt. Let's see if Kaniev, corrects that little mistake and goes to the body again. They're clinched up against the cage here. Yeah, nasty spinning kick, Cat, for sure. So we got double unders here. Terrell Fortune getting himself off the cage. Terrell's been kind of nasty with a little uppercut in this sort of clinch position. Is what his coach said, we're going to be nasty in the clinch. He landed a good uppercut, but Rizvan Kaniev looking for one himself. DC saying Fortune's got a little shiner on the right side of his face. I can't see it from my camera angle, but nice uppercut again there by Fortune on the break. Let me know what you guys think. Who won that first round? All right. We don't get bullied this round. We bully him is what the corner of Fortune is telling him to do here. So Yeah, Metitude says body shots are not utilized enough in MMA. Based has got it round 1 for Ankalaev. Yeah, I think so too. He had the shot that hurt Fortune more so than, I mean, Fortune had some really nice straight right punches, but yeah, let's see. Brian says this is a pretty decent level heavyweight fight. Yeah, Ankalaev round 1 for sure. Yeah, this is some good striking. I'm liking what I'm seeing. Both guys have landed some power shots. This is a fun one for sure. Thanks for joining too, by the way, Brian. All right, here we go. Round 2. Fortune's coach saying we're doing the bullying this round. So let's see what happens here. I think Fortune's best strike of the entire round, of the first round, was that low quad kick followed by a really powerful straight right down the pipe. I'd like to see him go to that again. He can open up the strikes to the face with that low kick. Okay, he's in that 3-2. Okay, Ankalaev again with head hunting a little bit. Let's go. Let's see if he can work to the body. He's getting Fortune to shell up. Fortune with a nice hook off the clinch break there. This is a good fight, ladies and gentlemen. Ankalaev's definitely winning, but Terrell Fortune is by no means out of this fight. The thing is, Chris, what I'm seeing is Ankalaev is really durable. I mean, some of those shots were gnarly. Ankalaev is looking for that body knee again. He lands it really well when he uses it as the lead, a little bit more distance, and he just kind of opens up the striking sequence with that lead knee. Terrell Fortune. Oh, that one. Okay. That one hurt him really bad. He landed that knee flush. Terrell Fortune is there you go. Body kick there. Let's see if he goes to it again. 1 or 2 more to the body, and Fortune should be out of there. There we go. Okay, now he's starting to look for that body finish. You can get the finish with strikes to the face, but you got to work that body in. He's really putting it on Fortune now. Fortune's really hurt to the body here. Fortune's trying. He's doing a good job of getting his elbows down and sort of shielding that right side of the body. But if Ankalaev can sneak 1 or 2 back in there, that should be all she wrote for Terrell Fortune. Sort of in the clinch position here. This clinch position is sort of favoring Fortune for a minute because he's getting a chance to recalibrate, catch his breath, and give himself another opportunity. But he's got just over half the round left, 2 minutes and 43 seconds left on my side. That mouse on the right side of Fortune's. Oh, body knee to the other side there. We got the liver and the spleen in play. Yeah, I don't see Fortune getting out of this round, guys. There's a couple more body shots like that, I think he's going to fold. What do you think, Chris? Do we see Ankalaev get a finish this round?
I hope so. So that combo.
Chris is concerned about his combo hitting. Did you have Ankalaev by finish or just by victory?
Just by the last initial of his.
Oh, Chris went the EV AV OV parlay combo. Oh, big shot by Terrell Fortune there. Ankalaev took a look at the clock after that one. You can come on in, Taylor. This is your house after all. Come say hey to the chat. Thank you very much. Y'all say what's up to Taylor. She's going to do everything she can to avoid being on camera. It's Chris's girlfriend, but she came through with the coffee. So she's a massive Patty the Batty fan, by the way. That's her. Is that your favorite fighter, Patty? Patty the Batty. That's the only one you'll sneak in here for a live stream and watch with us. Yeah, you could sit down, Taylor. They can't see you if you want to sit here next to me. Ankalaev does look gassed. Yeah. Oh, Base Volkanovski says, oh, Patty the Baddie. We'll have to get Taylor in on a live stream one of these days, too.
She can't be on camera because she's on the FBI most wanted list.
All right. Kuniev going back to those knees to the body. But I agree. Who is it? You, the base that said that. Yeah. Let's see whether Fortune is fortunate enough to survive this round. I like it, Kat. 22 seconds left. He could do it. I agree with you, Based. He does. Kuniev does look a little tired. But again, to be fair, this is high output for a heavyweight fight as far as striking is concerned. So, yeah. Fortune's, he man, I tell you what, Kuniev's got to be careful with those uppercuts off that break. Oh, Fortune, I don't like the body language there, grabbing his right side.
I love it.
Yeah. Chris loves it. Oh, man, we got 24 in the chat here, guys. Thank you so much, all of you who are being here. 60 across the board. So we're on Kick, Facebook, X. I have YouTube up here because that's where the hot and heavy chat is. That's where we get the most engagement. So I try to make sure I engage with that. But if Chris sees something important come across, he's monitoring all on his screen. We will for sure shout out all of you on Facebook, X, and Kick if the chat picks up there as well. Nick said, glad I don't have any skin in the game on this fight. Wanted to, but had to play it safe. It's heavyweight, and you got a heavy hitter. High output for a heavyweight fight that doesn't include Hokit and Blades. Fair. That's just a high output fight. You can take heavyweight out of the equation. Johnny says, no, thank you for the live streaming. Thank you, Johnny. We appreciate you being here, man. I appreciate each and every one of you, especially you, Johnny, Based. You guys come back all the time. Brian, Kat in here. So we got a lot of regulars. We really appreciate each and every one of you. And now here we go, round 3, guys. We are just about 5-6 seconds into the round. Again, Kuniev commanding the center of the octagon. Nasty, nasty. We're seeing the lead hook there by Terrell Fortune. Fortune's looking to just get this thing done with a Hail Mary. That's what he needs to do here. But Terrell was really holding that right side tenderly at the end of that second round. I know I sound like a broken record because I probably said it 10 times in the last round, but I don't see. Ooh, beautiful knee to the head there for Kuniev. Oh, back to the body. Man, Fortune is he's a tough SOB, man. He's eating some massive shots. Wow. DC saying he shouldn't have to. Okay, that's it. Yeah, we're done. Kuniev by flying knee finish, followed up with some body, ground and pound. Really impressive performance by Rizvan Kuniev there. Oh, man, the knees. Yeah, totally agree, Kat. Those knees were brutal. DC saying that he would have stopped the fight if he was Fortune's corner. Interested to know what you guys think about that. I mean, he was holding his side really gingerly at the end of that second round, and he was hurt really bad. But at the same time, and he was getting outclassed. I agree with, I'm still listening to what DC saying as well, that he got outclassed. But Fortune was landing some big shots. And at heavyweight, it really only takes one big shot. I would have been inclined if my fighter said he was okay to go back out to give him one opportunity to find that knockout. Now, he suffered damage that he wouldn't have had to in the third round, but you never know. You know, it's heavyweight fighting. Anything can happen. What do you guys think? Should his corner have stopped that fight, as DC is saying, in the second round? I'm actually curious to know what y'all think about that.
We were saying a second ago, he told his corner something about his side.
Oh, did he?
Kind of like, well, you're just going to have to, do something about it. I don't know what he said exactly, but.
Yeah, so Chris is saying that he did tell his corner that his side was really bothering him. And his coach said, well, you're just going to have to suck it up. So if that, maybe if he was looking for a way out and he was telling his coaches he wants out, that, that would change things for me.
new UFC rule. If the fighter wants to stop and the coach doesn't let him, the coach has to fight the next round.
There you go. Chris proposed a new UFC rule. If the fighter wants to stop and the coach won't let him, then the coach has to fight the final round.
It'd be very interesting if Derek wanted to stop and Bob had to hop in against the heavyweight.
Yeah, I can't name any fighters DC is cornering or coaching. Yeah, solid point there, Johnny. I think it surely has to be a broken rib. I can't imagine how it's not, I mean, to eat as many shots as he ate. Fortune should have seen a fortune teller beforehand. Good one, Johnny. I like that. Don't tell that to the guy Hamzat was coaching. Nick loves the rule. JDM's coach would have had a hell of a time against Prates after John. Yeah, that would have been not fun. Yeah. Oh, man. Perth, Australia's MMA squad would have been looking for a new head coach after that one. All right. What is the name of that thing that I'm seeing on the screen there? In Abu Dhabi, that thing in the background.
Oh, I have no idea.
We got Ray in the chat, new to the channel, but I have loved all of the Barnhill Brothers content. You guys kill it. Thanks, man. Appreciate you. Welcome. We appreciate you being here. And guys, I told y'all that Nick is a night owl. He doesn't wake up early. So he's, I'm sure, still in his PJs, but he's in the comment section. But he will be here. Nick, are you coming in between the co-main and the main? So when Nick gets here, we will do an immediate recap live stream as well. And those have been really fun. We've been getting a ton of people in the chat for those, but basically about 10 to 15 minutes after the final fight, after the winner is interviewed in the octagon, once DC gets out of there, start your timer. 10 to 15 minutes later, we're live with an immediate post-fight recap. And Nick will be here in studio for that. I'm going to move this table back to the middle. Chris is going to reconfigure the cameras, and we're going to run it live. So make sure you come back for that. Well, they also thought Kuniev was tired and Fortune had a chance, so they let him go for the third round. But honestly, after being that much beaten up, they should have ended the fight. Yeah, if he's telling his coaches that he's got a broken rib, and then that does change my opinion for sure. Based welcoming Ray in. Thank you, Based. Based is a seasoned Barnhill Brothers chat vet at this point. Mateus says, how come John Pork is the main event and Walter Walker not? John is Chanko is not the main event. He's the feature bout. But Walter Walker was the main event on the prelims. So I don't know. I guess some people hold the main event on the prelims in a little bit higher regard than some of the fights on the main card. The feature bout is a little bit esteemed. So I don't know. That's a good question, chat. Let me know. Is the feature bout a more distinguished position than the main event of the prelims? What is y'all's opinion? Nick says coming after the co-main, yes. Still in pajamas, also yes. Arman Sarukian. Fantastic content creator, they say. They asked Chanko to give a one-word answer for the fighters in his division, and Arman came up and he said streamer. Yeah, our YouTuber.
Is
No.
that John Pork next?
I believe Chanko is next, yeah. So let's see here. I got to go way back because I went too far. All right, here we go. Yes, Magomed Zanukov versus Damian Jupecki, I believe. Shout out to Moneyball for the text letting me know how it's properly pronounced. I believe it's Jupecki. This guy, Magomed Zanukov, guys. Let me let's drop this in the poll. Who wins the feature bout? All right. Rzepecki, Rzepecki. But I tell you, Chris, these last names have got my spelling working at max capacity. Zayn
Yeah.
Ukov.
No Smiths or.
Could you throw me a few Smiths or Johnson UFC? There we go. All right, guys, we are upon the feature bout. I mean main. Okay, yeah, Mateo says I mean main card. Yeah, interesting. Let's see. I'd say anywhere on the main card is still better than the feature prelim. Fair. It depends on the pay between the fights. That's a fair point as well, Johnny. Sometimes they do, like if they have a big, like on Paramount, if they want to like get a lot of interest for a numbered card and get like a conversion for Paramount subscriptions, you would put like somebody who's known for banger fights as the main event on the prelims to try to hope people will then, you know, take that momentum and click through and subscribe to Paramount Plus. So I guess it depends on the fight. Chanko, then Urseg, then Main. Yep. You don't want to see that based. I look like a proper caveman when I wake up. Hair and beard go crazy. Yeah. Nick can go from looking like a barista to looking homeless really fast, but he pulls off when he slicks his hair back and pulls the look off, he can look sharp. But yeah, he needs his beauty rest. John Pork, let's go. All right, so we got 5 votes so far. One person taking Rzepecki. If you're brave enough to say who you are, let it be known in the chat. Zanukov, I'm taking Magomed in this one. I think he's a really, really hot prospect. 2-time world Muay Thai champion. Fighting with Islam and Habib, you know his grappling is improving. Rzepecki's only 24 years old. So, I mean, like, even if this guy loses this fight, you know, he's still got a bright future. He's fighting an undefeated 2-time world Muay Thai champion as the feature bout. Shows you what the UFC thinks of him. So I have high hopes for, I think even if for example, Rzepecki has the years on John Pork, I think 8 years his junior, 7 years his junior, he could even lose this fight and still have a better career than Magomed. So it's going to be a good one. Ray says a barista is crazy. Yeah. He doesn't have enough piercings to be a barista, I guess you could say. But Nick says I'd need to dye my hair blue to be a barista, and I'd never make anyone a coffee that has more than one ingredient, black coffee.
Oh, I did see this. Doesn't really matter, but they're opening a Black Rock on 96.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
All right, guys. Feature bout. Here we go. Teammate and training partner of Islam Makhachev. Dude, I feel like, what was this guy's name? Lucas Caldas that he fought in the Contender Series?
Lucas something.
I think it's called Caldas or Calderas or something like that. They should have signed that guy just off of making it to the end of that fight, taking as many shots as he did. Rzepecki with 9 of 10 wins coming by finish. Really exciting young prospect. This may be fight of the night, guys. What do you guys have for fight of the night so far? I guess you could give it to that last one, even though it was a bit one-sided. Terrell Fortune had his moments. There was big shots, but I don't know that there's necessarily been a clear cut. Drop that on the screen. Thank you so much, Moneyball. Diaper fund incoming for Bambino. Thank you so much. You know, diapers are not cheap. And yeah, we're going to need a lot of them in the coming years. So that will certainly help and go to that. Thank you, Moneyball. We appreciate it. We love you over here on the Barnhill Brothers channel. As you know, you're welcome anytime. And we are going to make that happen. Whoever, I think it was Base that asked, will we do a fight companion with Moneyball? Yes, that will happen. She confirmed that in the chat. And we would love to do it. Moneyball, you're a legend. Honestly, it'd have to be Pons versus Patterson. Ooh, that's a good one, Based. Yeah, that one may be it. That may be the move. W's in the chat for Moneyball. Let's go. All right, guys, I just got 135 seconds left on the advertisement here. So here we go, guys. Let's see. How are we looking in the poll? 7 votes, 6 for Zanukov, 1 for Rizpeki. And I'm excited to see the poll for this next one, Urseg versus Temirov. I got Temirov. I've got him early. But it's going to be a good fight. Calder is now on a 3-fight loss streak after he lost to Chanko on Dana White Contenders. Is that right? No kidding. Let me look him up. Tapology. No way. Man, what a bummer. You're absolutely right, Brian. Good call. So he went back and so he was 5-1 before the Chanko fight. And then he has, and they're all by unanimous decision too. That's a bummer. He's a tough guy. He doesn't get finished really, does he? And then the only fight he lost was due to illegal stomps. Oh, sorry, before the Chanko fight. So he illegally stomped out Patrick Gomes. Man, this guy's been super active too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fights since in 2025, and now, yeah, bummer for Lucas Caldas, man. He is in fact on a 2-fight losing streak after losing to Chanko, which makes it a total of 3. What a bummer. I wake up at 12 p.m. What's breakfast? I like it, Base. I don't wake up at 12 p.m. because of the kids, but I still skip breakfast. I feel like I'm most mentally sharp when I skip breakfast. Although my wife did make me a nice scrambled eggs with bacon and potatoes before I left the house. Literally scarfed that down before I ran over here to Chris's house. And because she was like, well, you're not going to be home until probably 2 p.m. And I was like, that's nothing. But those of us that intermittent fast know. Those of us that don't are like, what, are you crazy? All right, here we go, guys. And it is getting hot. I don't know if it's me or the coffee, but this room is getting hotter by the minute. We got the fan on, so that's a plus. All right, guys, we got 3-inch reach advantage for Rizpeki. Both 5'10", which is interesting. He's got some Inspector Gadget arms, does Rizpeki. Justin Bernardo, is it this guy? Are they working him in to kind of become an announcer as well in the UFC? Have you seen him before, Chris? All right, we got the battle of the undefeateds, 10-0 versus 8-0, and somebody's O has got to go. Based sounds good, man. We'll have to dip out for a couple fights. Got to pick up the mother from work, but we'll most likely be back for the main and post-fight. Thank you, man. Also, Steven, I sent you a DM on IG with an idea of how to grow your community. Dude, thank you so much. Did you send it to me personally, or did you send it to the Barnhill Brothers page? Either way, I will. I'll check both and I'll respond. I'm mostly on the Barnhill Brothers page. I don't really get on my personal as much, but I will check it out. Thank you, brother. Be careful getting your mom from work. Wish her all the best. I think you said in there that her birthday is close to when our son is supposed to be born, so that'll be cool. A little Halloween birthday. Awesome, man. All right, guys, here we go. Mark Goddard officiating this one. Chris has got the clock up on the screen. Ring card girl is rounding the cage. Round 1. We are almost underway, guys. Let's see. Over under. Chanko throws more strikes than he did on Contender Series. Here we go. We're underway. The UFC debut of Magomed Zanukov. Chanko, or affectionately known as John Pork, is underway. Working that back push kick to the knee. Beautiful elbow in the clinch by Chanko there. Rizpeki looking to back him up against the cage, and he does get him against the cage with double underhooks. Chanko framing against the face, trying to reverse position. This is the fight Rizpeki needs, right? You know, distance and range when you're fighting a 2-time world Muay Thai champion are not your friend. They can have success in clinch, but not when it's double unders. You know, if you've got double unders on them, that's more of a defensive position. If Chanko starts to work, you know, collar ties and tie plums, it could be favoring him. But as of right now, this positioning is favoring Damian Japecki. Habib said, don't chase the hype. That's good advice for Habib. So Chanko needs to reverse this position. Japecki is going to be content here. Little Conor McGregor style shoulder strike there. But Japecki is not going to willingly give Chanko the distance and range and cadence that he wants. Japecki he realizes that he's got an opportunity to defeat a very highly touted undefeated prospect. And there's that old saying that coaches, MMA coaches and boxing coaches say, which is, we'll make it look pretty next time. A victory over Chanko at 24 years old is a feather in his cap. So let's see what he does from here. We're back in striking range. Japecki, beautiful jab by Japecki there, coming out of the southpaw position. Chanko really working that back push kick to the front knee of Japecki. So Chanko with a nice inside leg kick. Now we're seeing some tie plum with some elbows across the top there. Nice elbow on the break by Zanukov. Beautiful duck under to double unders for Zanukov as well. Let's see what he does with it. I still don't feel like this positioning favors him. And yeah, and now Japecki is reversing it. So I don't know. I don't love that strategy by Chanko. I still very much like Chanko at range here. I like him in the boxing range where he can land those elbows. Nice reversal of position by Chanko. But then again, Japecki reverses it right back. Japecki doing a good job. I know it's not the most aesthetically pleasing or exciting thing in the world, but he is doing a good job of controlling Chanko here against the cage. Beautiful separation there by Chanko. Let's see what he can do with it. Still looking to find his range a little bit. He's landing that push kick to the front leg well. Just landed a nice straight two there. But so far, not the volume that we saw in Contender Series. This is a much better opponent, though. Ooh, beautiful elbow there by Chanko. Was that looked like an elbow. Was that an eye poke?
I didn't see it.
Fleddy, thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate you. Let's see here. We'll get to the comments real quick while we're waiting for this eye poke to subside. Oh, shoot. Chris didn't stop the timer, so we're going to be a little off, but I'll tell you guys where we are for this round. Why do they call him Chanko? Nick coming in with the answer. Chanko is the village he's from in Dagestan. That's cool, Nick. I didn't know that. Russian Peppa Pig. My son actually loves Peppa Pig. That's funny. Weird to see the ring girls in Abu Dhabi. Yeah, you know, I know they're not a huge fan of that over there, but I want, you know, we saw them with different uniforms for the White House. I'm wondering if one day they'll modify the uniforms for the Middle East. Let's see. Let's hope that Japecki doesn't end this.
But it was an elbow, right?
It looked like, I need to see the replay. I was looking at the chat, so I didn't see the replay. This is going to be such a bummer if Chanko's long-awaited debut ends this way. Oh, these elbows after the eye poke. Okay. So Kat saying there was some elbows after the elbow landed after the eye poke. I need to see the replay again. He still has 3.5 minutes. Chanko just anxiously looking on to see what's going to happen here. Okay. Looks like Japecki is going to be able to finish this thing. Okay, Goddard saying we had this discussion in the dressing room. This is your first and last warning. First and last. Saying that multiple times. So Goddard going to deduct a point if that happens again. Chanko right back to that push kick. Rzepecki looking to establish cage control here. Chanko with some nice return fire there. Nice kick catch for Chanko, followed up by a flurry of punches. Chanko really likes that push kick to the front leg. Rzepecki with a beautiful takedown. Beautiful body lock takedown by Damian Rzepecki there. 33 seconds left in the round. He does have, as Lorosenko pointed out, a couple of rear naked choke wins. Beautiful separation by Chanko there. Chanko showing the grappling improvements that you knew he would make with Team Habib. Nice head kick for Chanko, followed up by the 1-2-1. Oh, that spinning back elbow was telegraphed from a mile away. All right. Round 2 is in the books. Do warnings apply to both fighters? No, I think the warning there was for Chanko. I think if Rzepecki were to come out and do a similar thing, he would probably get the benefit of one warning as well, but you never know. Yeah, I didn't see that eye poke, unfortunately. I'll go back and watch it after we finish up here and see. Hopefully they'll show a replay of it. All I'm seeing is Star Trek right now with Chanko in the very far right corner.
Where does the leg hurt?
Okay, Chanko's saying his leg hurts. Coach asking where the leg hurts.
Don't do two right away. Just show him kicks, then show him hands.
Okay, don't do too much right away. Show him kicks and then show him hands, is what the corner of Chanko said. All right, Dean Thomas weighing in. Thomas liking the feints of Rzepecki. Ooh, beautiful 3-2 by Chanko there to start the round. Yeah, Dean Thomas liking the feints and liking the takedowns of Rzepecki. What do you guys think? How do you score this one so far? Beautiful duck out. That was a Fiziev-esque by Chanko there. I like Chanko stepping in the pocket and throwing multiple punches. He's having a lot of success with that. That's where that volume, the volume that got him famous and made him a fan favorite on Contender Series. That's what he needs to get back to. Beautiful takedown by Chanko there. Damian Rzepecki in the butterfly guard position, looking to build those underhooks and get a sweep here. Chanko looking to pass the guard. Rzepecki doing a pretty good job of keeping in between the legs so far. Chanko now doing a good job. Okay, Rzepecki's back up to his feet. Very nice exchange there and get up by Rzepecki. Chanko back again with the aggression. I'd like to see him throw some more volume, though. Ooh, spinning elbow again. Beautiful body kick there by Chanko. Nice shots to the head, followed up by a body to the knee by Chanko there. Rzepecki's got him against the cage, but Chanko's doing a good job with the pummel fight, although he does have, there we go, pummels his way back in, avoiding the double unders of Rzepecki. Yeah, this is an interesting fight. Nice elbow there by Chanko. Good job preventing the double unders by Magomed. Okay, beautiful, beautiful escape there by Magomed Zanukov. Followed by an amazing body kick by Damian Japecki. Guys exchanging low kicks a little bit. I like the boxing range for Chanko. He seems to be having some success there. Yeah, the DC and Larasenko commenting on the short and tight elbows of Magomed Zanukov. He's really good with those. But again, Japecki has him pinned up against the cage. Fleddy asks, so what's the... I'll tell you the backstory here in just a second. Looks like we may have Japecki hurt. Chanko with some big shots. Damian Japecki looking for a desperation takedown there and some control against the cage. John Pork needs to separate and keep teeing off. Yeah, he hurt him with that one. So while we have a little bit of a lull here, Islam Makhachev was with Chanko in an interview, and he goes, "This is my friend John Pork," and he said it in his accent, but it sounded like he said John Pork, in that interview, and so everybody just started calling him John Pork. But Chanko is his actual fight name, and then Nick told us that that's actually the village he's from in Dagestan, which is pretty badass to just name your fight name after the small village that you come from. Man, Japecki is really leaking. Those shots got to him. Japecki looking, for the takedown at all costs here. Beautiful spinning back kick, though, by Japecki. Ooh, beautiful straight right, and followed by an awesome knee by John Pork. Chanko really putting it on here. He's got 27 seconds left in the round. Ooh, beautiful knee by Chanko. I think Japecki needs to abandon those spinning elbows. He's telegraphing them from a mile away, and they're not effective. 8 seconds. Man, elbows. These elbows are nasty by Chanko, man. The doctors may stop this one. They're going to take a look at that cut over the head of Japecki. They
casual take, but what about if Chanko wins, him versus Quill and Sawkill?
Chris says, how about Chanko versus Quilly and Sawkill? Let us know in the chat. What do you think about that one? To answer your question, though, I think Quillian's a little bit advanced in the rankings. Like they're trying to make him. What is Quillian? I'll pull up the rankings real quick. Somebody said new nickname John Elbow. There you go. Let's see. Gaethje is the champ. Quillian's number 9. Who's he fighting? Mateusz Gamrot. So he's fighting number 6. So Quillian Sawkill, like if he beats Gamrot, they're looking at a top 5 guy for him. So that while stylistically, I like where your head's at. Too far away for sure. Moneyball, new nickname John Elbow. I love it. The elbows are so cool to watch. I agree. I think my computer charger has run its course, but I do have a full battery. Okay, so that's good. There we go. Are they going to... Yeah, that cut was nasty. Oh, they're going to let Japecki continue. Round number 3. So some damage to the right leg of Chanko, says the broadcast team. They've been working on it. So we'll see what it is. Japecki coming out looking pretty fresh. I mean, he was hurt pretty bad at the end of that last round and looking for a desperation takedown. Some nice grappling there. I'm impressed with Chanko's anti-wrestling and reversals. Japecki is a really, really good grappler. This was a great first piece of matchmaking for Chanko, in my opinion. Yeah, the blood's going right into the eye. They were able to clean it up a little bit in between rounds, but it is leaking again. Basically did enough of a cleanup job to not have the fight get stopped. Japesky's doing exactly what he needs to do. The problem is he needs a finish. And I don't think he's got good enough grappling to get a finish on the ground, which means he needs to go for broke and try to knock out Chanko, which, yeah, I don't, that's just not in the cards, in my opinion. And excuse me, Laura Sanko just saying 4-time world champion in Muay Thai. I said 2 times. So I was underestimating even the accolades in Muay Thai that Chanko has, but we all knew how good he is with Muay Thai. We watched that on the Contender Series, and we can go back and watch his fights in his Muay Thai days, the ones that you can find. And so what I'm most impressed with is he's in there with an excellent grappler who's got multiple submission records or finishes to his record. And he's able to reverse position. He's able to get takedowns of his own. He's having top position success. Now, that's not the story of the fight here. The story is these elbows that have opened up Japecki. But at the end of the day, wow, that elbow was nasty. Man, he can land it with both hands, too, looking to open up the other side of the face of Damian Japecki here. Damian Japecki's tough, though, man. He's still going for those takedowns. He's still in the fight. He's still trying to land big shots of his own. Kat said that would be an insane fight, but the rankings won't allow it. Agree. Yeah. Chanko versus Quillian if Chanko keeps winning and maybe Quillian drops one, then you get 2 more wins for Chanko. And let's say Quillian loses to Mateusz Gamrot, then you're looking at that fight. Which, man, I would love to see that. Nice elbow again. Man, he's really working on opening up that cut of Damian Japecki. Whoa, kick to the face. Dude, Japecki is a monster. He's a tough customer. That was probably the best spinning elbow kick that I've seen so far. Yeah, Zanukov's pace is not as much as it was, certainly not as much as it was on the Contender Series, but he's also got a much more formidable opponent. As Brian pointed out to us, he, Lucas Caldas is actually on a 2-fight or 3-fight losing streak that started with the loss to Magomed Zanukov. So, perhaps level of competition is playing a real factor here. Looks like Chanko took a look over at the clock. I'm interested to know what's going on with his leg. Oh, that was a beautiful single leg, almost a single leg feint there, but he actually grabbed it and then he went up top with a hook. That was really slick. That's the kind of stuff you see when you get high-level grapplers like Khabib and Islam Makhachev working with a striker. That is really, really nice. Customers are tough beyond imagine. Yeah. Mouthpiece went out. Man, my pick for this one, Chris, was that this fight would go to decision, which is like, I cannot believe that I may actually be right.
Yeah.
Chanko by decision, which is seeming outrageous right now, but it just simply because Damian Japecki is tough as hell. Zanukov looking really good, but 10 seconds left. Another hook there for Zanukov. Ooh, man, that push kick to the face is money. Damian Japecki looking for a takedown. One final elbow by Zanukov. Japecki is battered and bloody. Really, really good performance by Zanukov. Up on the cage, showing off those elbows. That's what did it. Yeah, nasty with those elbows. He's like surgical. Those things are like scalpels cutting you right open.
This is off topic.
Yeah.
Did you see,
Nick says Chanko pulling away, but this could be fight of the night. Yeah, let me know. This was a good one. The heavyweight one was good as well. Let me look at the card one more time. Prelim card. Patterson Santiago Ponzinibbio was a good fight. Walter Walker had a great performance, but certainly not fight of the night. Yeah, let me know what you guys have for fight of the night so far. What were you saying, Chris?
I said it's off topic, but did you see Cam's last fight?
Yeah, that was wild. Yeah. All right, guys. What do you have it? 30-27 for Magomed Zanukov. That's what I scored it.
Which one did you have? First round KO? Oh, I think it was Islam Dulatov.
Islam Dulatov, I had first round KO, which is I was pretty comfortable in that pick, but unfortunately, he's not going to be fighting.
Yeah, my prediction was staph infection, fight won't happen. It's pretty crazy.
I know Chanko. Let's see. With Chanko in the lightweight division, do you think Usman comes to the UFC? Yes, I still do. I think Usman is further along in his career than Chanko. I think he would get probably a top 5 guy or top 10 guy right out of the gate. So I do think so. Yes, I don't think him being in the UFC makes a difference there.
Somebody did comment on one of those videos of the opponent that neither champ has ever faced is Usman coming over to fight Gaethje.
Yeah.
Somebody said that's what Ali Abdelaziz meant, but I don't know.
Oh, okay. Somebody's saying Ali Abdelaziz meant when Gaethje's next opponent is not in the UFC, that means it's Usman Nurmagomedov. I think that's highly unlikely, but Chris did hear that through the grapevine. Mateus 30-27 agreed. Brian Chenko, fight of the night. Totally agree, Brian. Yeah, it was a great fight, even though it was 30-27 for sure. All right.
And the fight name is Wild Chanko.
Wild Chanko, yeah.
The Wild's in there.
I like Wild Chanko. He is wild. All right, DC with Chanko. We got the translator in there. Let's see what Chanko has to say here. Kat says, what if Usman loses on the 31st? Yeah, that changes things for sure. He says, hey, Ilia Topuria. Calling out Ilia is a bold call out for your UFC debut that you won by decision, but I like it. All right, we'll get the translation here in just a second, ladies and gentlemen. Wants to make sure he comes out and puts on a show. Oh, there you go. The translator getting more into it than than Magomed. I love it. Saying hello, Ilia Topuria. So that was, yeah, correction there. I don't believe that was necessarily, Chris, a call out of Ilia Topuria. He was just shouting Ilia Topuria out because that's his training partner. Yeah, and saying that he comes from the camp of Abdulmanap Nurmagomedov. Good to hear Abdulmanap's name get dropped. And they don't care whose camp they fight. Man, those push kicks to the face are that's just downright rude, isn't it? Oh, look at that. Straight in the mouth. Just a mouthful of toes. Meditude. Put that up on the screen for a second. DC doing his best to look like Grimace. Shout out to that comment. That may be the most goated comment to the stream so far. Ronald McDonald reference. Kai did come from Rising at a title shot in his debut against Pantoja. Fair, Johnny, fair. But I feel like 155 is different though, right? Zanukov is really good. Could see him going far. Agree, Fletty. Yeah, he's really good. A lot of fun to watch. the broadcast team shouting out the translator. Do you mind coming over here for a minute while I?
Yeah. Let me just double check everything. Steve Urseg next.
Yes, we got Urseg next. Let's see. Let me. I need to end this poll, and then we'll pop up the next poll. Something tells me this is going to be the one that's the most controversial of the night. Who wins the co-main? If my computer wouldn't freeze up, that would be nice. The translator got me hype. I agree, Fetty. Who wins? Let's try this again. The co-main. Urseg. Or Timarov. All right, guys. And I am going to take a short bathroom break. Chris is going to hold down the fort for a minute, and we will be right back.
Yo. Usually, Nick, I can depend on you to take over while Steven's gone. Chad, I'm going to depend on you guys to give me something to talk about.
In the opener at Mum, many other great bouts. Then 1 week later, on August 18th, another 10 of the best unsigned prospects in the world clash for a shot at the big show, including an intriguing matchup of returning light heavyweights Alec Lawrence and Muhammad
All right.
Well, that was quick. No chats came in while I was here, so
We just needed a warm
waiting
body
for
to fill the
something,
chair. Oh, there we go. Moneyball says, "Hey, Chris Barnhill."
Hey.
All right. Here's your phone.
Oh, thank you.
Ooh, Fletty said announced the Dana White Contender Series lineup. Are they good fights? Let's see. I didn't see that. Where did they announce them? All right, Steve Bearded Urseg versus Ramzan Timarov. We got a chat that thinks that Steve Urseg is going to pull this off so far. 57% to 43% on the broadcast. I must have missed it, Fletty. Did you see the Dana White Contender Series lineup when I went out?
No, did they show it?
Yeah, I didn't see it.
shoot,
Yeah,
no.
I'll look and see if I can find it. All right, guys. Co-main event time. So far, the last name ending in V being the winner has proven to be true. We'll see. This is the one that's the closest, in my opinion. Ramzan Timarov and Steve Urseg. Steve Urseg is the better all-around fighter, in my opinion. Timarov coming off of a PED suspension. We'll see if he's still as explosive and wild, powerful. This is going to be a good fight. I do think that Steve Urseg has more ways to win, but I also think he gets chinned at some point in this fight. So I went with Timarov. That was my final prediction.
Has Ursek been finished in the UFC?
The answer, what happens when you have to pee during the live stream? You call your producer to sit in the chair. Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah. Which, like, what's crazy to me is like MMA Guru goes live from like the early prelim on some cards to like all the way through. I've never watched one of his lives all the way through. I don't know if he gets up during it, but he must be like severely dehydrating himself before these, or he's wearing a Depends. But yeah, there's the answer to that question, Brian. All righty, guys. We are 35 seconds away here from the broadcast being back. So far, Timarov has taken the lead now in the live chat as far as who you guys think is going to be the winner. It was Urseg. Now with 9 votes, Timarov sitting at 56%. Meditude says Guru uses a Coke bottle. Is that confirmed? That doesn't surprise me. But yeah, that would not surprise me at all. Either that or he's got the biggest bladder of all time.
That's how I road trip. I just won't drink or eat anything. I don't stop like when I'm going to Georgia and Texas.
Look at that, Serbia, showing some B-roll of downtown Serbia. I'm excited for that fight. Medic versus Rodriguez. I think Uros Medic is a dark horse in the division. I really think he's going to get a finish, and I'm expecting big things for him in 2027. Oh, Meditude said yes, confirmed by him. Okay, there you go. There's your answer.
Oh, wow.
Did they announce the main for Noche? Yeah, I guess he doesn't have anybody in the room with him. That would be a little odd with my brother just sitting right off camera. Maybe when I when I do these streams from my house, that I can implement the MMA guru tactic there. Did they announce the main for Noche yet? Says Ray. Not to my knowledge. Do you think Wei Li Zhang fights again? Yes, I do. Did y'all see Wei Li's glow up? She had a little makeover. I literally did not realize that was her until I saw people commenting that, oh, that's Wei Li Zhang. Fleddy says, is betting on Ankalaev worth it at minus 620, or is it too risky? It's too risky. This is a last-minute opponent. Bogdan is powerful. Ankalaev was knocked out in his last fight. I'm not proposing to you that I think anything's going to happen other than Magomed is going to win. I think Magomed's going to win by fourth round TKO, but at minus 620, it's just too much of a risk. If you're going to do anything, I would do Magomed by, and again, if you lose this, don't blame me. But what I think is going to happen is Bogdan is going to fade in the later rounds, and Magomed will find a late finish. So that's what I would go on this one. That is what I did go on this one. Let me see here. Ank better do some grappling, says Johnny. Yeah, he may need it in this one. Noche rumor is Moicano versus Yair. I did see that, Brian, but I wouldn't imagine that would be the main event, though. Fleddy says, appreciate it. Looking for some quick money. I'll stay away. Yeah, I would stay away from that one, man. I really would. Let's see here. All right, guys. My parlay, I only need to hit Tamirov to win what turned into a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 leg parlay. It was 6. I had Islam Dulatov, but that fight got scrapped. So if Tamirov wins this one, then I was just sitting there checking on my phone. I am one away from hitting a 5-leg parlay. And yes, it was the last name ending in V when the opponent's last name did not also end in V parlay. The math keeps mathing in Abu Dhabi on that one. And it's, the fighters that are favorable to the region. I know a lot of them don't live in the region. A lot of them are from the Caucasus and Russia and whatnot. But, they're Muslim fighters, and they tend to give them pretty good matchups in the UAE. So not a bad thing to ride the wave on if you're looking to get some action on these. Man, these commercials are killing me, Chris. We're 150 seconds away, guys, from the broadcast being back. And 13 votes in the chat. So far, Tamirov still sitting 54% to 46% for Ertag. Is UFC Noche considered a numbered card like 306? I don't think so. I don't think it's a numbered card.
Was the Sphere a Noche?
The Sphere was Noche, yeah. Wiki shows Moicano versus Ortega scheduled for 331. Let's see. Let's go to UFC 331. Yeah, I can't. I'm not seeing it on the UFC's website. But yeah, Moicano Ortega, there very well could be on 331. Nick says, love Astro Boy Urseg, but I need him to take an L here. Do it for the combo. There you go, Nick. So, Nick, are you coming over after this fight? Are you hopping in that car and making your way on down? All right, guys, just under a minute on the adverts here, and then we will be back in business with the co-main event of the evening. Not too late to get your votes in. We got 15 in so far, and we've got 53 for Tamirov and 47 for Urseg. They should make Valentina versus Natalia as the main event. Okay. Yeah, that'd be a good fight. Natalia Silva versus Valentina. I tell you what, this This Fatima Klein girl, I'm really bullish on her. Now I know it's a different weight class, but I think she's going to be a star. Let Natalia send Valentina in. Ooh, I like it. Okay, so you think Natalia would win that fight? Every dog has his day. I mean, how Valentina Shevchenko's got it. What is she? 36? No, she got to be older than that, right? 37 or 38, huh? Yeah, she's getting up there. She's getting up there in age. Great champion, though. Dominant fighter. But Valentina Shevchenko will eventually pass the torch. Will it be to Natalia Silva? I don't know. Yes, I love both Valentina and Natalia. That would be so entertaining. Yeah, that'd be a great fight. All right, guys. Main event is upon us. Look at 63. Oh, sorry, co-main event. 63-inch reach for Timurov to 68 for Urseg. So pretty pronounced reach advantage for flyweight. 5-inch reach advantage. But look at his arms. Doesn't he just look so short and stocky? And then Urseg does have kind of long arms for the division. She's 38. Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, Johnny, yeah. So she is definitely, getting up there. I can't imagine she'll be doing it till she turns 40. All right. Ramzan Timurov getting announced right now. Minus 110 pick'em. 126. All right, guys. We're going to put that time clock up here in just a second after they announce Steve Urseg, and we will be underway. Astro Boy. 5'8", tall for the division. That'd be a good fight, yeah. Timurov is all kinds of bodied up. Yeah, he does not look like he weighs 126 pounds, but I guess it's that he packs a lot into that 5'3" frame. I think he's going to come out of the gate here explosive, try to finish this thing early. If this thing goes late and Steve Urseg's able to control the range, it could get pretty bad for Timurov. But I do think he can. I do think he can end this one early. I don't know. Maybe I'll eat my words here in a second, guys. Chris has got the timer up on the screen. Mike Beltran is making this thing underway right now. All right. Both guys just throwing some feeler jabs out there. Oh, spinning back kick that right to the body that knocks Urseg down right out of the gate for Timurov. Like I told you, this guy's not in here looking to get paid by the round. This guy's in here. Okay, Steve Urseg was able to get a takedown there. Looking for the back. Timurov is shucking him off. And Urseg is now off the back to his feet. Timurov looking to strike again. Man, this guy's exciting. He just throws with bad intentions, doesn't he? He's like an angry little ball of muscle.
Sorry, I had to cash out of that ending in B. I was like, you know what? He's already doing something this early. I was able to double it.
Overhand. Man, he really likes that overhand and that spinning body kick. Man, it's going to be crazy to see if he can keep this output for 15 minutes if it goes that long. But, oh, that was weird. That was a weird little slip there. Steve Urseg looking to establish the the straight punches. I think that's definitely where he has the advantage. He needs to slow this fight down, work behind a jab. He cannot afford to have Timurov just wild throwing on him like that. He's got to land some shot on Timurov that Timurov respects to slow down that onslaught a little bit. Steve Urseg ducking under an overhand there. 17 months off for Timurov due to the suspension. Gets a co-main event spot against a ranked fighter who fought for a belt. So UFC still obviously very hot on him. Overhand followed by a hook. Steve Urseg now starting to find his range a little bit. Landed a nice 1-2 there. But Timarov does not throw any setup shots, does he? Every single shot is 100%. Don't know how far he can go in the division like that with that style, but damn, is it exciting to watch. As Laura Sanko just said beautifully, when you miss, it's exhausting. Lead hook there for Timarov, landed on the glove of Urseg, but still registered. Yeah, Timarov is very... Oh, beautiful straight right hand by Timarov there. He really loves that spinning kick, goes back to it again, but Steve Urseg's a little hip to it now. That one sort of landed on the shoulder. Beautiful jab there for Timarov. Steve Urseg also landed one of his own. Timarov really looking for that overhand finish. He's throwing that 100%. He's missing pretty big on him, but if he gets the timing on that and is able to find it, then he will definitely do some damage with it. All right, 130 or so left to go in the first round. Steve Urseg looking to close the distance a little bit. I'd like to see Steve start to put some of those jabs back on Timarov. High kick for Urseg that didn't hit the mark. Timarov throwing those wild hooks. Some of them are landing. Oh! He got that overhand. Knocked Steve down with it. Steve looking for a takedown. Timarov with the hammer fists. This could be getting close to... Man, Timarov is just throwing crazy. This guy's wild, man. Urseg's hurt real bad. Overhand, body. Oh, Urseg has got a chin on him, man. Stayed up on that. Okay, that's it. Wow. My goodness. Ramzan Timarov knocking out Steve Urseg in the first round. Gives that sign of the belt. I tell you what, young man, you're not getting a belt shot, title shot next, but you just starched the number 10 guy in the world in dominant fashion. 2 more, and they're giving him a title shot if he keeps winning like that. Wow. Man. Fleddy says, wow, it happened so fast. Yeah, that was incredible. I guess I can end this poll now. Don't you guys sneak in Timarov as your pick. He did not miss a beat in that layoff. Whoa, pieced him up. Yeah, Moneyball, wild and fun. In a big in-8. Yeah, Armin's really exciting. Let's see here. What are you guys' favorite non-champions? Oh, good question. Yeah, so Nick says Arman. Yeah, Arman's definitely up there. I love Max. I've always loved Max. Let's see. Alex Pereira now, right? You know, he's a non-champion, but I still love Poatan. Ilya Taporia. Josh Hokett's exciting. You know, how far he's going to go. He's, you know, I wasn't a big fan of his shtick early on, but, you know, he puts on great performances and is a lot of fun to watch in the cage. Let me think of who else. I don't know, Chris, who's one of your favorite non-champions right now? Kind of funny we all went lightweight. Yeah, for sure. Oh, Carlos Prates to go welterweight. For sure, Carlos Prates. Ilya Taporia. Yeah, all solid. All solid, guys. Wow. Timarov, man, this guy is the real deal. All right, guys, we're going to get the official decision here in just a second, and then we will hear what Ramzan Timarov has to say. All right, guys. 4 minutes, 21 seconds, round number 1. Winner by TKO, Ramzan Timarov. All kinds of fired up. All right, we're going to get Timarov with DC now. What a performance. Man, that translator is getting real close to his ear to translate, isn't he? shouting out Abu Dhabi. Hey, UFC.
No problem, opponent. Inshallah, I got this champion. My division.
He said, who's next? No problem. Inshallah, I will be the champion of the division. I love the confidence. Keep fighting like that. You'll find yourself in a title fight soon enough, young man. How old is Timarov, Chris?
I don't know. He seems young.
He seems like a young guy. Let me see. Let me look up his age. Oh, he's 29. Yeah, he's got plenty. Yeah, he's going to be a problem for a while. Oh, Yuri Prohashka and DDP. Yeah, for sure. Hokit. Saul Killed. That's a great one, Fleddy. Saul Killed's a really good one. Said he worked so hard. He was ready for 3 rounds. But he saw the finish and he was ready to get that knockout. DC saying you just beat number 10. Who do you want next? I don't understand what he's saying, but he just said Joshua Van. He's probably not getting, for sure not getting Josh next, but man, what a fight that would be. We're going to get a translation here in just a second. Man, that's going to be a tall task to translate all that, isn't it, Chris? DC's like, all right. Okay, he's saying he's ready for anyone. Bring the champion. Happy birthday to his president. That was an abbreviated translation for sure, because that guy went on for a minute. Fleddy says, this has been a great card. Nothing like midday UFC. I know, man. Midday UFC is fun. You want to put the main up on the screen, Chris, and then I will. Who wins the main event? Magomed. Bogdan. All right, guys. Poll is in the chat for the main event. So who's going to win? Bogdan Guskov or Magomed Ankalaev? So far, all for Magomed. 4 votes. Prep the coffee. Daddy's on the way to the studio, says Nick. That's great news, guys. He must be loading up into that white Volvo of his to make his way on over. We got
So he'll be here to watch the main event.
Yeah, he's going to watch the main event, and then yeah. Chris is going to set Nick's camera up, so maybe we'll call this main event together. And then if he makes it in time, if he doesn't, I'll just do it solo. And then we will be doing the immediate recap. For those of you that are in the chat right now, don't forget, the show is not over when the main event wraps. We will stop the live stream, reconfigure the room, and then we will go live again and give an immediate recap on what we just saw before we even have a chance to really chew on it and digest it. And then, of course, tomorrow we come out with an actually produced and edited episode where we take a chance to sleep on it, hear the press conference, look at any news that has come out and give a more in-depth assessment. But we kind of like the fire from the hip immediate thoughts. And you guys have been enjoying those too. So make sure you stick around for that. We will cut the live and then we'll go live again for the immediate recap. So that way it's 2 separate videos. So if people are looking for them after the fact, you don't go through 2 hours of a fight companion and then get the recap. You have a separate video. Umar Nurmagomedov, good one there. Yeah, he's definitely a top non-champion. All right, guys. Chris is standing up for the main event. He must think this one's going to be exciting. If Nick makes it here in time, can you do split screen?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we'll see, guys.
Tell the chat we're going to test it real quick just to make
Yeah,
sure.
we're going to test the split screen real quick just to make sure it works. And that way, if Nick makes it in time, he'll be calling the main event with me. If not, then it'll be just me, as it has been since the beginning. 619er. It would be a shame if Ankalaev doesn't get a title shot if he wins strong today. Agreed. Yeah. Kat says, respect your work, brothers. Really appreciate you, Kat. Thank you so much for being here. You know, if it weren't for you guys, we would have nobody to talk to. So we much appreciate you all showing up and supporting us every week with all the various different types of content. There we go. Okay, cool. So it looks like the split screen is working just fine. And yeah, when Nick gets here, we will dial him right in. All right, guys, this has been an exciting card so far. Really, a lot of people were kind of complaining about this card, right? Saying it's not very good and, you know, probably a lot of decision merchants on the card. So far, we've had a lot of finishes. Let's see here. If we go into, let me see. Where are we? 320. For some reason, my Google went way back. All right. So we have 1, 2. So 2 out of 4 so far on the main card finishes. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the prelims. Only 2 decisions. So majority finishes. Oh. Breaking news. Okay, UFC Paris main event. Let's see what it is. Parnasse. Interesting. So Saladin Parnasse, who just fought on the MVP card and honestly looked the best of any fighter on that card, if I'm being honest, is making his UFC debut as a main event against Dan Hooker in a 5-round lightweight main event Saturday, September 5th. Interesting. Very interesting, guys. Want to know what y'all think about that? This guy's good. Saladin Parnasse is a very, very good fighter.
I believe MVP's on that card too.
Yeah. Also, Robelis de España was re-signed to the UFC. So two guys from the MVP card. The UFC probably did that just to piss off Francis, to take his next opponent from him, because that was who they were talking about fighting Francis next. What are the chances of Usman Nurmagomedov coming to the UFC after another PFL title defense next week? It should be the last fight on his contract. I think very high, my friend. I believe that Usman Nurmagomedov deserves to be in the UFC. I think he's top 5 straight out of the gate, potentially championship material, and I think we need to see it. So I think he will come to the UFC. I think that, you know, he's making a lot of money in the PFL, but the UFC will pay him well, and it'll give him opportunities to grow his brand, which even if he's not getting paid as much per fight, I believe he'll be making more in the long run as his brand grows in the UFC. So I think, I do think that he ends up in the UFC to finish out his career. Based, yo, what's up, Based? Glad to have you back. And hope all went well with your mom's pickup. Hope she had a good day at work. Brian said Parnasse. So yeah, he's exciting. He's going to be a fun addition, and he looked really good on that Netflix card. So I'm excited to see what he can do inside the UFC's octagon. It's a different place inside the octagon, but I think all in all, he should do pretty well against Dan Hooker. We will break that fight down too as it gets closer. All right. We are getting the B-roll now of Ankalaev and Guskov. Bogdan looking to get a KO finish here tonight to sort of steal the thunder and cement himself as a title challenger. Got some food for the main event on the way back too. Nice. That's what I'm going to be doing after we finish up today. I'm going to get myself something good to eat. Okay, Magomed saying he lost the belt through his own fault out of stupidity. Interesting. He said he's corrected what he needs to correct, and now he's back as a completely different person. Man, he looks sharp, doesn't he? He started working harder, started following a stricter regimen. Fans should expect a spectacle today because angry Ankalaev is coming back. Are we about to witness a mythical character unlock here, Chris? Angry Ank. And Guskov saying he's the most dangerous fighter. Nobody wants to fight Ankalaev, but he's willing to do it. Nobody wants to take the risk except for him. So, Fleddy, does beating a number 9 as a number 1 actually move anything for you if Ankalaev wins? Feels meaningless after Roundtree backed out. Well, with Pereira out of the division now, and, we don't know what's happening with Olberg. We did see him in the crowd. So maybe there's some sort of face-off that's going to happen if Big Ank gets a win. I think the way he wins is if it's a super close fight and it's like a close decision, maybe not. If he comes out and smokes Bogdan, it probably does. Like I said, with Alex now being gone, Yuri lost in a weird way to Olberg, but I don't think Yuri should just jump back into a title fight. Khalil's got to heal up. So I wonder who else, let's look at the rankings real quick. So you have Alex still ranked in the division, which actually doesn't make sense to me. So Magomed, Yuri, Costa. Costa's fun. Is Hamzat going to come up and fight Costa? You still have Jamal Hill ranked in the division, which doesn't make sense because I think we can all agree that Jamal Hill is never fighting at light heavyweight again. And then you're getting into Dominic Reyes and Khalil Roundtree. So, yeah, I think Magomed gets a title shot with a win here. I really do. Ank really turned into Sith Lord Ank in this trailer. Jamal, I love it. Great comment. I couldn't agree more. We got 46 in the chat on YouTube now. Yo, what's up, Joey? Thank you for joining the chat, my friend. You're in time for the main event. Let's go. And for all of you that just joined, as I said a few minutes ago, as soon as the main event is over and the winner is interviewed in the octagon, we will hear what they have to say. Then we're going to cut the live stream and go live again, but this time it'll be an immediate recap. So there are 2 separate videos that live on YouTube. It'll be an immediate recap on our thoughts of everything that happened on the main card and then some of the fun stuff that happened on the prelims as well. So, yeah, stick around for that. Make sure you don't leave YouTube once we finish up here. Know that we are coming back again. Interim title fight, Ank versus Costa. I don't hate that. It depends on when Carlos can come back, right?
Is it too risky in this one to take the buy draw at plus 5,000?
Yes. So UFC Sacramento, particularly if Danny Silva versus Mauricio Barbosa is signed, if the best card over the next couple months, including, I'll have to look at that full Sacramento card. Let me see if I can find it real quick.
Excitement and gratitude has been radiating from Bogdan Guskov all week.
Yo, we got Nick in the building, ladies and gentlemen. He's just in time for the main event. 47 in the chat now, and it looks like we are going to go split screen here in just a second and have Nick join us. There he is, ladies and gentlemen. The man, the myth, the legend, the bearded one himself.
How's everybody doing? Yo, what up?
Joey says, I'm at work, so I'm missing the fights. How did Temirov do? Ooh, Joey. Just an absolute explosion of a performance. Knocked Steve Erceg out in the first round. That guy is like an angry little ball of muscle, and I love it. I love it. He called out Joshua Van. He's definitely not getting that next. He was unranked, and he beat the number 10 guy. But with a fighting style like that, Nick, now that you are here, you got to think that a shot against Joshua Van, if he's still the champion, is not far away from Temirov because that guy's exciting.
Yeah, Temirov is an absolute freak. The body, insane. The fight style, insane. He's got to be a little cautious against certain people. But you know what fight stuck out to me, which I hope we see at some point, is him versus Manel Kopp.
Yeah.
Because the explosive striking style would be a lot of fun. And what's up, everybody? Yo.
And now Manel a little cleaner, right? So cleaner with the strike. Temirov, though, that guy's like the Tasmanian devil, man. He's just too exciting. He is must-see TV. He's Mr. First Round.
I forgot to say, commented, but somebody requested something on stream.
100%. And you guys were wondering if I'd make it for the main event. Boy,
Here he
I'm
is.
not a thief, but I drove like I stole the car just to get here in time. Huh?
What's that?
Baseball Kanoski asked if we still had this picture. Oh, you guys are a little bit behind.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, let me hit live. There we go. Look at that.
Oh,
Nick in the Sophie Cunningham jersey.
that's my girl.
That's gonna be Nick's Christmas present from the Barnhill Brothers.
There we go.
You getting a bunch of yo-yos in the chat, Nick, from Moneyball,
What
from
up,
Kat,
fam?
from Rohan, yo-yo.
How's everybody doing?
Yo-yo, everybody.
Hey, obviously I love Saturday night fights, but waking up and just jumping right on the couch to some Paramount
Yeah.
Plus is kind of nice. Start the day with some coffee.
I woke up about 7:30 with my son this morning and made a coffee. And then we went upstairs to his little playroom and I threw the TV on and he's like, "What are you doing, Daddy?" I was like, I'm going to watch fighting. And he goes, "But it's the morning time." And it's so funny how kids know the schedule. But he was like, "Okay, well, I'll watch it with you." And then we played trains and watched the prelims. And now here we are. Big Ank making his way out.
While you were playing with him, I was playing on Kalshi. And just so you guys know, I'm batting 1,000 still.
Do you have anything riding on this one?
Of course. So this will settle my 5-leg combo. And I've got Ankalaev winning. So
Okay. Any method of victory or just getting his hand raised?
no, I thought about doing it, but if Ank gets, I predict Ank to win by finish, but you never know. And sometimes guys like him, especially from his camp and that part of the world, they'd rather win aside from anything else. So if it feels like it's too risky to enter range on Bogdan, obviously Bogdan's got a lot of power early, and I don't know if Ank will be willing to risk it early. And then I think we could see both of them be a little bit slower. And then he's like, all right, well, I can just piece him up for another 2 rounds and get a decision. So I didn't go method on this one, but I'm pulling for Ank.
Well, I don't know if you had
Angry
Paramount running on your phone on the way over here, but
No.
Ank,
I saw all the pre-stuff like yesterday.
he said he's angry Ankalaev.
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
coming
yeah.
back, and he's coming back with a vengeance.
And he was in the like the Darth Vader outfit. I thought it was Josh Hokett standing on top of Mahashkala's
Somebody
biggest
commented
mountain.
like, "I'm here for Sith Lord Ankalaev in the buildup."
Am I right, New Jersey? I'm far
Okay,
behind.
that worried me. I was like, wait,
There we-
that's still up on screen. 5
So here we go. Heathen Minds rooting for the underdog. H-Town, stand up. Let's go. Keep up the great work, guys. Thank you for being here, Heathen Minds.
Hey, and they prepped my coffee for me.
Is this
How
not
nice is-
Islam's walkout music? It sounds like it. I have it turned down a little bit, Vase, because I don't want to interfere with the microphones. So I can't really hear to tell for sure if it's Islam's walkout.
Oh, he must be doing a face-off with the winner because he's got the Ray-Bans on the film.
Oh, okay, yeah. So Joey says, "Let's go. I love Temirov." Joey, if you love Temirov after 17 months, my friend, go back and watch that first round. That's all. It's the whole fight, but it was fun to watch while it lasted. Kat says, "Big Ank got to do it and finish in style." And Jamal said, "Dark Ank ain't playing." He does not seem to be playing.
Yeah, Ank is a tough customer.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Main event of the evening. 42 in the chat on YouTube. How many total do we have, Chris?
It should be about 80 because I
84. Heck yeah. All right. We are going to get that clock up as soon as this thing gets underway, and we are going to call this fight.
no Herb
Let's
Dean
go.
tonight,
Thanks for
eh?
those hearts in the chat, everybody. Y'all are the best.
Yeah, appreciate it, y'all.
There we go. Chris doing a little manipulating here, and then we will do you have to make us smaller like that to get the clock up there?
Yeah. Tell him to ignore the clock just starting. I just had to put it back to 5 minutes.
Okay. Chris just put the clock back to 5 minutes, ladies and gentlemen.
Dude's got a solid
And,
back piece, Bogdan.
Yeah. Okay. All right, guys. Let's see. Checking 27 votes in the chat. This is the most active one so far. 67% of you think that Magomed Ankalaev is going to win. An interesting 33%. That's a reasonable amount of people for a short notice fighter who's a big underdog. who, I'll be honest, Nick, I see Bogdan's only strength here being that I would give him a slight power edge over Ankalaev.
Yeah.
And is he going to take a page out of the Pereira book and just come across the cage and try to knock Ankalaev out right out of the gate?
That's what I assume, but you have to understand how good of a fighter and game planner Ank is. He's not about to get roped into a fight that winds up with him back against the cage in the first minute
for
like
a second time in a
Pereira.
row.
No, he's gonna, even if he has to run around, he's gonna avoid that. And it's weird. He and Alex are split, and it feels like one of those trilogies we'll never see. But I'd honestly like to see it.
I wouldn't mind it.
I don't know if Alex will ever come back to 205, but it feels like the right kind of fight. If he loses another at heavyweight, I say come back down and give us the Ank trilogy, because Ank beat him the way he wins. Alex beat him the way he likes to win. So the third one, the rubber match, makes more sense than almost anything at 205. And I do think, by the way, I heard you guys talking about it, I do think Ankalaev wins here, gets another title shot, and we'll just wait for Allberg. So there's really nothing else in the division, and there's nowhere else for him to go.
Well, there's no reason that Alex is ranked one position ahead of him, because Alex is not in the division anymore.
Right.
So I feel like so he's number one here, but then he's number two on the meta rankings. But that's because he's behind Pereira. But again, Pereira's a heavyweight now.
Right. And we got that classic Ankalaev southpaw stance coming out strong, always controlling the lead hand top side, trying to control the outside lead foot. But that is a little bit tougher than controlling the top part of the hand. The lead hand, even if you have your foot on the outside like Bogdan does, if you've got your hand under, it's almost more like a 50-50 position. So Ank's got to do a good job of getting his hand over the top, because I think he's long enough, rangy enough, and good enough with his in and out striking, Soviet-style boxing, to allow Bogdan to circle to the outside as long as he's got control of the lead hand.
Yeah.
He can still find his shots.
So you're saying that front foot is not as important, the positioning, if you can control the inside of the lead hand.
Yeah, it's very important. And in an ideal world, you'd want to have the lead hand on top of your opponents and the lead foot outside of their lead foot. But it's not the end all be all. If you had to choose one, you'd rather have your hand on the top and in control of their hand.
Okay.
But it also lends well to his Soviet style boxing, because he's good at getting in and out. And that's where angles can change on those slight step out with like maybe a 2 or a hook, and then change the angle a little bit. And then there's a little bit like deception with the brain. You don't fully see the angle that Ankalaev makes, and then it's there for him to shoot one down the pipe.
Okay. Well, not a whole lot happening here in the first 2 minutes of the fight. A lot of positioning, some body kicks for Ankalaev, some jabs.
Big head kick.
Perhaps the best shot of the fight so far, head kick for Bogdan Guskov.
Doesn't look like it even phased Ank at all, though.
No, it
durable.
Almost like there wasn't a whole lot on it. He just kind of threw it up there.
Yeah. Sometimes that happens. The push kick is nice.
Nice straight down the pipe for Ankalaev there.
I liked those push kicks to the face from Jonko earlier.
One of them, his toes just went straight in the mouth of Japecki.
Yeah, look.
Just a mouthful of toe.
If you're into the foot stuff like some people are, that's probably a guy's dream.
I don't think that was Damian Japecki's. Yeah. I think that was his nightmare.
Yeah. Only feats. So Bogdan is actually fighting more intelligently than I thought he might come out. I thought he'd come out and just throw caution to the wind, short notice, jumping way up in ranking and competition, just get out there and try to frustrate and fluster Ank. But he's actually trying to stand and contend with Ank.
This shows me that he thinks he can contend with him.
Yeah.
If he thought he needed to get a quick knockout and, like I just need a Hail Mary here, he probably would have come out like that.
He'd be slinging that backhand way more often.
For sure.
Stepping into range, risking, his stance and safety.
Head kick for Ank, misses the mark. Ank is finding some success with that straight left. Have you noticed sometimes he'll throw that straight left and use it to switch stances for a second?
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. Anytime you can show something with the backside, you can generally drag that just like that. You can generally bring that back leg in for a stance switch. I love there's a great combination. Ank could do it right now. If he took his back leg and showed it like just how he does it, maybe show it a little bit more so Bogdan would think it's a knee. And then you throw a hook with that hand that's now the front hand, which is usually your power hand. Usually fighters, when they see a knee come up that they think could be a kick, they might go down to reach for it. It's a great technique to land on a hook with your power hand.
So Ankalaev actually is in. Okay, now back to southpaw. Was in orthodox for a second there, and then Bogdan switched and then switched right back. So both guys are pretty, generous with the stance switch here so far.
And Bogdan, obviously some of his steps look a little bit weird, but for the most part, he looks like a pretty fluid striker. He doesn't look like he's, clunky. He doesn't look like he's, guessing what his body should be doing. He's pretty aware of where he needs to be and how he needs to position himself.
Well, 4 knockouts in a row and then a draw with Jan Blachowicz. But that second round, he was, if it could have been 5 knockouts in a row. It was a 10-8 round. Jan made it out. But all in all, he, showing that he deserves to be in there with Ank, right?
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a slower round, not the most exciting round of the card so far, but both guys are powerful. Certainly Ank was, being knocked out in his last fight, realizes that Bogdan's got power. He's finished 4 out of his last 5 opponents by knockout, and had Jan hurt really bad in that fight. So, somebody that he also had a draw with, which is odd, right?
Yeah.
When you look at common opponents, it's like both these guys have a common opponent, and it was a draw in both instances.
So weird.
I don't know how common that is, but I can guarantee you not much. So Ank round 1 says Cat agreed. Quite impressed by Bogdan. You could genuinely give him that round, says Based. I'd probably still give round 1 Ank. Yeah, I do favor Ank a little bit Based, but not much to score, as Kat said. Not a whole lot of action.
You have to go to cage control.
Yeah.
And I think Ank controlled the cage a little bit better because no damage was done pretty much.
Yeah, Fleddy says, did Ank finish Poatan when he beat him? No, that was a decision. Poatan came back and finished Ank in the first round. Let's see if Ankalaev, we got round 2 going now, guys. Let's see if Ankalaev opens up here. Body kick for Ankalaev to open things up.
And the body kick from a guy like Ank in that southpaw stance, once you've got your opponent's guard high, throw it at 100% because the liver shot is right there.
Yeah.
And you can just pepper the liver. That's the beauty of being a southpaw fighting an open stance, is you've got a power kick that goes directly to the liver if you kick to the body.
Yeah.
The spleen is obviously not a good place to get kicked, but it doesn't have the same reaction as the liver. The liver will shut you down. Your body freaks out and it feels like you've, lost all your air. But the spleen obviously could rupture and you can have a much bigger problem on your hands after the fight. But as far as stopping a man dead in his tracks, hitting that liver is money. And that's why
Tyrell Fortune found out a thing or two about that tonight.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Kunaev is pretty solid.
Yeah, he looked
moves
really good.
He's nimble for a big fella, huh?
He looked really, really good. What I was hoping to see out of him was exactly what we got, which was a finish.
Yeah.
Because the skills are all there. Had a really close fight with Curtis Blades. So Ankalaev, I think, a little bit more decisively winning this round. Starting to find his range and his shots. Just about 3 minutes and 30 seconds left in the round.
Well, like I said, remember, Ank needs a statement win, but fighting at this style, I don't see a finish coming. It seems to me like he's going to control this fight. May look a little bit hard in rounds 4 and 5 for a finish.
Oh, that was a good straight there by Ank.
Yeah. But Bogdan is playing a smart game, and he's, it's almost like one of those situations where Bogdan might say, let me just make it to a decision. If I can get to a decision, then everybody knows that I've made it all 5 rounds on short notice with, arguably the best light heavyweight in the world. So sometimes those are little victories that you bring to yourself in your own mind. And obviously nobody wants to lose, but if you can make it to the end of the fight, that can feel like a feather in your cap.
Yeah, I don't think Bogdan is completely there yet, but we could see that as the rounds go. Now, what's going to be interesting to me is Bogdan was supposed to fight next week, so he had to ramp everything up by a week. Training camp was cut by a week. The weight cut started a week earlier. He's not a 5-round guy, right? He's not a main eventer yet in his career. So to me, and which is why I predicted, and I will stick by my prediction, that Ank wins this in the 4th or the 5th. I think he needs to start doing more damage now than he's doing. But yeah, there's a good straight left there. But if he can do enough damage in the last 2 minutes of this round and in the third, I think he might be able to find that finish at the end.
Yeah.
It's all going to depend on how much damage he can do between now and then.
Yeah. So what I'm picking up right now is Ank is chasing a little bit. He's not cutting off the cage as well as he should. And Bogdan's doing everything right as far as trying to move laterally, utilize the outside perimeter of the cage. And obviously, Ankalaev isn't really loving that. It's obvious because he just went in for a takedown.
Yeah.
He wants to slow Bogdan down a bit, maybe make him hold on to your weight a little bit, carry your weight. But Ankalaev is kind of chasing him around the cage, and that's why he's having to reset constantly. And Bogdan's just trying to stick and move. Kind of only landed one good shot, which was a jab about 20 seconds ago. But this is pretty much a clear round for Ankalaev, in my opinion.
Yeah, this is much more decisive than the first round was. Yeah. Ankalaev work in the back there. We'll see if he secures a takedown with 40-some seconds left in the second round.
Yeah.
Yeah, DC saying that Guskov is very good on top.
Shoulder strikes.
I don't think that's going to be a factor here. I don't see Guskov in top position in this fight
for even a second.
If there's a takedown, it's happening on the, at Ankalaev's discretion.
Yeah, if there's a takedown, it's going to wind up being a scramble, and then they'll both wind up on their feet.
Exactly. Spinning elbow to finish the round there by Ankalaev.
Good way to finish the round.
Yeah, just give it a shot, throw that out there. And a head kick. Yeah. There we go. So round 2 in the books. I've got it. Let me know what you guys have, chat. I've got it 2 up, 2 down for Magomed Ankalaev. That would be 2018 thus far. Do you have it 2-0, Nick?
Yes.
2-0 for Magomed Ankalaev. And we have 34 votes in the chat.
Let's go. Hey, by the way, I know I just got here. I'm not leaving, guys. I just got to run to the restroom.
All right. Sounds like Primus, yeah. Tasting great since 48, Mountain Dew. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Ank's coach telling him just to calm down, calm it down, and fight his fight. Yeah, everybody's saying 2-0 for Big Ank, Cat, Fletty. Yeah, that's the right call here. 2 up, 2 down for Magomed Ankalaev. Second round more decisive than the first. All right, here we go. Round 3 underway. Ankalaev with a big head kick to open up the round. Sort of landed on the glove and shoulder of Bogdan. Nice straight down the pipe by Ankalaev. Bogdan does seem to me like he's slowing down just a hair, I wonder if having to weight cut a week earlier than he was expecting to, and when you get a massive mix-up in camp like that, it does affect you in some way. And Ank is a 5-round guy. He's a tried and true 5-round guy. He won the belt off of a 5-round performance against Alex Pereira. Right. So we'll see here. We're still very early round 3. This fight's not even halfway over yet. So I am expecting these rounds to start getting more lopsided as it goes along.
Me too.
Fletty says, I wish I got into the sport earlier and not just 9 months ago. Hey, you know what? The best time to get into MMA was in 1993, and the second best time is right now, my friend.
Yeah.
So you're never too late. It's better than it's ever been.
And in 9 months
yeah.
to find this channel, hey, you're on to you're actually on the right track.
Yeah, because we're not the biggest channel by a long shot. So the fact that you found us, your algorithm knows that you're going deep into the MMA circles. So that's cool, man. Thank you for being here. Getting some boos.
Well, who
from
was
the
the?
crowd.
I gotta ask, who was the fighter that got you into the UFC? Who was it? A certain fight, a certain fighter, maybe an entire event? What was it that got you? Could it have been a clip online that you saw and you're like, all right, I really got to start checking this stuff out? Let us know.
That was a nice body straight there by Magomed Ankalaev.
Yeah, and the straight two to the body. Oh, beautiful shot by Ank. Straight two down the pipe. Oh, he's got that kick down. He's just, Bogdan did a good job defending it, but the feint two to the head followed by a half recoil, not a full recoil, so the shots come very fast behind one another. Half recoil to the body. So throw the one, throw the two, and then throw the one, feint the two, and then send the exact same shot down to the body. That's a money combination. It works like 90% of the time.
Based says 9 months ago, that's when the Aspinall Gone event was. Can you imagine? Now, my friend was just like, want to watch UFC, and we watched 322 for my first card. Islam, Prates, Valentina, loaded card. That was it. There you go.
Man, that's a solid
Man,
card.
you get Islam Makhachev, Carlos, and Valentina Shevchenko on a card. Yeah, that's a good first one to watch, my friend.
Speaking of Islam, I'm seeing more and more on Ian Gary, man. The guy just cannot seem to get out of his own way.
No, he really can't.
And
poor guy.
Yeah, now I want Islam. I see so many people being like, I don't even like Islam Makhachev, but I want him to beat Ian Gary so bad.
I think Ian Gary, I think honestly it's a work. I think he knows the sentiment that the UFC fans have for him. And he's like, okay, what could I say that could play into people feeling the way they feel about me, so they show up to hope I get knocked out?
Maybe, but now his brother's chiming in, being like, we didn't have a hard upbringing. You came up in a middle-class family. Like, we all supported your fight. Like,
is that right?
And he's like distancing himself from his family, didn't go to his grandfather's funeral. And, his brother does not have very nice words to say about his 40-something-year-old wife. So it's starting to get personal.
Starting to get oh, beautiful. That straight left from Ankalaev was personal.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, Bogdan. I mean, the story here is Magomed Ankalaev is just completely in control of this fight.
Yeah. But look at the striking.
Yeah.
Significant strikes, 27 of 89 for Ank, 34 of 52. So a significantly higher average of landing for Bogdan. But Ank is controlling the center of the octagon. He's doing more damage, and he's having more definitive moments within each round.
Yeah. Yeah, Johnny says Ian needs to hire a publicity PR firm.
And get a divorce.
Yeah. And Based says, I've never been on the Ian Gary hate bandwagon, but recently he started being more annoying. Yeah. And then I agree, Johnny, Ian's brother should keep the family drama offline. That I do agree with 100%. I am not a big fan of airing out family dirty laundry online. But,
and he said he's going to pull receipts if Ian doesn't change his tone. So it's about to get wild in the Gary household. Wilder than it already is.
Yeah, because I was about to say, it looks like it is wild already.
When you got an ex-husband and a 50-year-old wife, it can get a little bit hairy, just as is. Bogdan's searching for answers here.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not liking the body language out of Guskov whatsoever.
And, these are big fights. You have to say yes when they offer you the number one contender on short notice. But these can be these career-defining fights. Because some people go through these experiences and they realize, okay, maybe I'm never cut out to be UFC world champion.
Yeah.
And maybe prior to this fight, Bogdan might think, okay, I can put a win streak together. And then you draw into the worst matchup in the division, and it can kind of break somebody.
Yeah.
And then confidence goes down, mentality into fight camps goes down. You're like, no, regardless of what I do, I'm still steps behind the top couple guys in the division. Hopefully that's not the case for Bogdan, but it does feel like he's a bit outclassed in this situation, which means while all these guys are training very hard and going to continue training very hard, he's got to make more progress faster than the rest of them.
And I think he's 33.
Yeah.
I mean, for light heavyweight, it's not horrible, but he's not 27, you know?
Yeah.
So if Ian wins, he's going to allow Layla to speak for him.
God almighty.
Agreed. But at the same time, his family said if Ian's saying his family never supported him, when the opposite, I think Ian's the one that brought that online. Yeah, agreed. Yeah, Base, that you're right about that. If that is the case, you're right.
Yeah.
At 22, Ian could have had his pick of the litter. Instead, he chose a lady 23 years. His senior, what a doofus.
Well, yeah. Imagine the type of girls he could be getting if he didn't marry a wag.
His personality is a whole other thing, but in regards to just purely fighting, I think it'll be a great fight for Islam. Yeah, I totally agree with for sure.
But we're in meme culture, so Ian Gary's great for memes, and I never mind seeing them.
All right, this was the round I said Ank was going to get the finish. He's on top here. Bogdan Guskov, if I'm being honest, Nick, doesn't seem like he's got a whole lot left. Now, he's not hurt to the point where he's going to be finished, but he just seems demoralized.
Well, and remember, he's used to 3 rounds. Even if before he got to the UFC, he was in 5-round fights, that was a while ago. So he's conditioned for basically getting his hand raised or not raised right now.
Yeah.
And instead, he's got Ankalaev on top.
He's got, which 8.5 more minutes of Magomed Ankalaev.
And, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure his fight that was supposed to happen next week was not a 5-round fight. So he wasn't training for 5 rounds.
No, it was against Blachowicz, but I don't think it was a rematch, but I don't think it was the main event.
No, that would be
because it's Song and Nurmagomedov. Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously, we have people that train for 5-round fights in our gym. We have people that train for 3 rounds, and it is a different level of output.
100%.
You have to condition your body for what your body's going to go through. And if you've got a 3-round fight, it doesn't make sense to go do a 25-minute camp.
Yeah.
You know?
And
Ankalaev knew he was getting in a 5-round fight.
Yeah, I mean, Ankalaev's just going to assume that every fight that he's in for the remainder of his career will be a 5-round fight.
Real quick, ask what this comment means. Voice is red circle with a cross through it. Double check or not.
FK, when you say voice is off, are you saying that you can't hear us? Let us know if you guys
coming in.
4th round finish for Magomed
Ankalaev's got a choke in. It looks pretty tight, but oh no, he doesn't have it. Never mind.
He's still got 2.5 minutes.
The angle looked like
it
was good, but they changed camera angles, and Bogdan's safe.
Yeah, somebody let us know if you can hear us. I'm not sure what that comment is referring to, but
that's great for Ankalaev
cool.
because he had Bogdan supporting himself with one hand as a base, a point of base, and so he switched arms and went for a choke on the other side. Now he's going to break the base down of Bogdan. Now he's got, I think, down to his elbow. Now you're going to have to spin. Yep, you got to take the risk, give your back. Remember, Ankalaev, though he has no mustache and a beard and comes from a place full of great grapplers, grappling isn't his forte. He likes to finish fights with striking, but I think dominance is what he's looking for right now. And if he can get on top and stay on top like this for a round, he could be softening up Bogdan for a later finish, maybe round 5.
Okay, Base said Nick's a little bit quieter than Steven, but we can hear you both. Thank you.
Check 1 2 1 2. Everything sounds
and thanks,
good.
Johnny says you both sound fine.
Oh, there's the choke.
Beautiful.
Oh,
nice defense there by Bogdan.
Bogdan's got good defense for sure.
And credit to Bogdan because he could easily find himself a way out of this fight at this point.
This is the number one get me out of here position that you see in MMA. I'll give you the neck. I'll make it look like I'm trying, but get us out of here.
Yeah.
We've got checks to collect in the back.
Boy, is that ever true. Like on the jiu-jitsu mats too, when somebody's exhausted and they turn the back like that, you know, it's kind of an unwritten thing. It's like, I need a reset real quick.
Yeah. You know what? You know, the thing that drives me most crazy in jiu-jitsu, besides getting submitted, that's the worst. But when somebody taps too quickly off a technique that you're putting on them, you're like, oh, I've got them dead to rights. And then they start tapping as you cinch in the choke or as you fall back with the arm or whatever.
Yeah.
You're like, no, don't stop.
Don't you rob me of my finish.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep going until I'm happy.
I'm gonna face crank.
Oh, face crank. You see, Ankalaev, the face crank's a good idea, but the body positioning doesn't lend for him to get it because Bogdan has enough space because they're not chest to back. If Ank was chest to back there and got that same grip on the smash, he could have definitely gotten it. But he was off to the side.
Yo Ronnie, thank you so much for the donation, my friend. Glad to have you back in the chat.
Let's go. Thank you so much, brother. Appreciate you.
2023 Ilia Topuria versus 2020 through 2023 Ilia Topuria versus 2018 through 2020 Justin Gaethje. That was back when Justin Gaethje was trying to be the human highlight more so than even winning fights. Topuria would have found him.
I don't know about
2023 is more like if it's 2020 Topuria versus 2020 Gaethje, that's a little bit dicey. But the 23 Topuria, I think he was good enough at that point.
But who was he fighting then? Like Jai Herbert?
I don't recall. I'd have to look at the. Let's see.
Because I think that Ilia Topuria is one of the best strikers in the UFC, one of the best strikers the UFC's ever seen. But I think that durability and weight definitely matters. That's why we have weight classes. And Ilia Topuria does not have the power at 155 that he had at 145. Just go look at his 140 or 155 KOs. Max Holloway 45er, Charles Oliveira 45er naturally. Obviously, both of them have moved up, but you get a real 155er in Justin Gaethje who never fought at 145, and he was able to eat all those shots and look like he got out of there unscathed. So, you know, the fact that Ilia Topuria loves to strike tells me that he would have tried to go for knockouts. And I think that Justin Gaethje hasn't changed all that much in the past 3 to 4 years. So I would still say Justin Gaethje, especially after what we saw at Freedom 250.
All right, here we go. Yusuf Zalal decision, Damon Jackson KO, Ryan Hall KO, Jai Herbert KO, Bryce Mitchell submission.
Bogdan's got him in a submission.
Oh, wow.
No way.
Hold on. We'll get back to this in just a second. Bogdan is looking for a Darce here, but he's
not going to get it.
Not going to get it. Okay. And then Josh Emmett by decision. The Volkanovski fight was in 2024. So that lineup versus 18 Justin Gaethje. Let's see. 2018 lost to Dustin Poirier KO. Then a KO of James Vick, KO of Edson Barbosa, KO of Donald Cerrone, KO of Tony Ferguson.
I mean, what are we talking
to
about?
Habib. Okay, yeah, you're right. You're right. Justin Gaethje, you're right.
He ended the boogeyman in El Kukui.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah.
And nobody, there ain't anybody who would say that Ilia Topuria from 2023 getting rocked by Jai Herbert would beat El Kukui on his 13-fight win streak.
Fair enough. I had to look at the lineup, and I think after looking at it, you're right.
Now, if Ilia Topuria that showed up to fight Charles Oliveira would have shown up to fight Justin Gaethje in 2026, we would have seen Ilia Topuria win. He was jabbing. He was fighting intelligently. He was going to the ground. You know, against Justin Gaethje, he threw all of the best aspects of his setups out of the window.
All right. Just over 3 minutes left here. Magomed Ankalaev pretty much controlled this fight from start to finish.
Yeah.
On the feet in the first 3 rounds and on the ground here at the end of it for the final 2. Bogdan's still in there, but he's not too far from being out of there. Really doing nothing.
Big shots. You know, Ankalaev's grappling is obviously very high level in his top position. You see how he's not going for submissions here. He's going for dominant position to keep hammering away.
He'll go for that rear naked if it presents himself. But
when you're out in the open, you're not against the cage. It's very difficult to land in that position without giving your guy enough opportunity.
Goddard stopping it. Yep, that's it.
That's all she wrote.
There we go. Bogdan is not complaining.
Yeah, he doesn't seem too upset about that one. I mean, you live to fight another day. Ankalaev is one of those guys. Unless you're the best in the world, you're not beating him.
Yeah, and I mean, even Alex Pereira, Alex Pereira kind of caught him off guard and knocked him out, but who knows how that fight would have played out.
Right.
Ank says he was injured, said he shouldn't have taken the fight. Whatever. No excuses, but and I'm not saying that he's trying to make excuses, but I think that, Ankalaev on any given day could potentially beat anybody in this division. Tough night for Bogdan Guskov. Based said, why is Bogdan laughing after getting finished? Funk Master says, hey, props to Bogdan for taking the fight on short notice. Yeah. Ronnie, 2023 Topuria didn't have that I'm invincible mindset, and that's what I think cost him in the first 2026 fight. Topuria didn't respect Justin's game in the first round. Yeah, Ronnie. So yeah, after looking at the lineup, I changed my my mind. So I do think Justin, but had it been like 2024 Ilya Topuria, would have been a different story. If only they let Jan take this fight. I believe that Jan said he accepted, but Bogdan accepted first. Interesting. 61 votes in the poll. Thank you guys all for voting. All right. So we are going to hear what Magomed Ankalaev has to say. Then, as I said, we're going to cut the live stream, but don't leave, guys. Hang around on YouTube. Set a 10-minute timer on your phone. We're going to reconfigure this room, and we are going to be back with our immediate thoughts on the fight. And you guys will be able to engage in the chat with us as well.
Yeah.
So make sure you come back for that.
Please and thank you. Oh, he's going to half retire. He's got one of his gloves off.
He's 1 foot in,
He's got 1 foot in, 1 foot out. We know what Dana says about that.
Props to Ang for the performance and Bogdan for taking the fight on short notice. Well said. You were right on with your round 4 or 5 KO prediction. Yeah, I thought it was going to be round 4. I think was the final one I went with, but I just knew it was going to be late if it came because Ank wasn't going to take any big risks early. He was going to cook him, which is exactly what happened. All right, DC with Ankalaev.
You can't even see Ank behind DC. He's so big.
And Ank's not a small human.
No.
DC is saying, how does it feel to get a finish in your return?
Alhamdulillah. We don't know what he's saying because we don't
translation
speak
in a minute.
Dagestani. But I always said he should be the eagle instead of Khabib because he actually looks like a bird.
Yeah.
Yeah. SCL.
Khabikal?
Guskov held up well considering the skill gap. Yeah, I mean, he was trying in there, but he didn't really have anything left in those later rounds. Most knockouts in UFC light heavyweight history. Magomed Ankalaev actually only 3 away from being the top spot.
Yeah. Well, we know the Dagestani fighters have figured out the grappling, but it's safe to say if he can steal that #1 spot, they've also figured out the striking.
Oh, I mean, just look at Chanko. Like, there's no question about it.
Susarkaya.
Islam. I mean, Islam beat Volkanovski in that first fight with good striking.
Yeah, the guy from ONE FC with the push kicks to the face.
Yeah,
Ismagulov or whatever his name. I don't know his name, but he's got the hardest Dagestani name, which is saying a lot.
Most important skill is mindset for me. Nice one. There is no Dagestani language. He is Russian. Yeah, obviously. Yeah, Funk Master. Thank you for letting us know. But yeah, we're just kind of tongue in cheek. Funk Master Mega Flex. No, this is not Funk Master Regular Flex. This is Funk Master Mega Flex.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here we go. Let's see. We got another one. All right. Sorry, guys. Give us just a second here. All right. Thank you again, Ronnie. I appreciate you so much, my friend. 2016 to 2023, Amanda Nunes time travels back to UFC 1 tournament. Does she win it? What about current Joshua Van? So you're saying if
UFC 1 with
Prime Amanda... Could Prime Amanda beat Hoist Gracie is basically what you're asking. Could Josh Van for sure. 100%.
But there was no weight classes back then.
Yeah, but Hoist wasn't a big guy.
Yeah, but Hoist had to fight like big guys. So he would have had to jump in the tournament and beat up like Tank Abbott or whoever the hell.
The thing is, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu won because nobody really had ever seen it before.
Right.
And Hoist Gracie was able to submit people with stuff they just didn't see coming.
In a gi.
Could Does Hoist get to? I guess yeah. Damn, that's a hard one. No, I don't think either one of them do, because they would have had to make their way through the rank. I think if you take Hoist Gracie with no gi from '93 and put him against Josh Van with no gi and MMA gloves, Josh Van wins that fight. But could Joshua Van have come up through the ranks? There was some good kickboxers. There was some
A sumo wrestler.
think about but there was like really good wrestlers. Yeah, I don't think so, man. I think no. I think the answer is no on both. What do you think, Nick?
I agree. I mean, well, it just depends, right?
Amanda for sure.
If you take away the gi, if you take away the shoes for some people, if you take away the weight class aspect, then Josh Van's skill for skill is way better than all those people. But there are weight classes for a reason. Just like I was saying about the power, Ilya has power at 145. He has proven to us that he has a harder time knocking out 155ers.
Yeah.
That's just a 10-pound jump. Now, Hoist Gracie was able to exploit people that were 100 pounds bigger than him because of his gi and because of jiu-jitsu. But Josh Van's game is striking and knockouts. And, coming from somebody who weighs 155 pounds, it's very difficult to land really powerful shots on big guys. And usually, even when you do, they don't seem affected in the least bit.
All right, let me see here. Who competed at UFC 1? So, okay, Ken Shamrock.
Yeah. Nightmare.
Okay, Ken Shamrock. So you're talking about Joshua Van fighting a roided up 6'1", 212-pound unit from Warner Robins, Georgia. Shout out.
And everybody back then was on steroids too, by the way.
Yeah, no, there's no way. Joshua Van could not beat a roided up Rich Franklin.
Or Ken Shamrock.
I'm sorry, Ken Shamrock, yeah. Yeah, I don't think, I mean, could he have beaten Hoist? Maybe, but yeah, I'm going to stick with no. Base thinks he could do it.
This is a call sheet I was looking at. I'm waiting to see how much that, because Islam Dulatov wasn't able to fight.
Yeah.
So that one was in my combo.
I hit that combo just without Dulatov.
Yeah. So I have that combo, but it hasn't calibrated because it still has him on there. So it hasn't shown me all the wins that I got. But I put money on Bogdan Guskov to win this fight, but at a early sellout.
Yeah.
And I hit it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Heck yeah, man. All right. So we got another one from our channel member. Shout out to you, Rusted Spoon.
Let's go.
We put the I don't know if you've noticed, my friend, but we put the Barnhill Brothers emoji because YouTube kind of gives you a generic one for the channel members. And thank you so much for being a channel member. We're working on some exclusive members only content, which we will be rolling out in the next couple of months. We really thank you for your support. But for now, you do get that custom emoji that we worked on. How do you think the general quote unquote lack of excitement in Ank fights plays in the decision on whether they give him another title shot? I think it plays into some degree, but somebody's got to step up and be that exciting finisher. Maybe it's Paulo Costa. I don't think Yuri is around right now after what he kind of did a really low IQ thing with the Carlos Ulberg fight. I don't think he gets a title fight next. Pereira's not around in the division anymore. We don't know if he's coming back to the division. So
there was never a better opportunity for Khamzat to move to 205. Go fight Paulo Costa and get the title shot.
If you can beat Paulo.
But the winner of that, whoever wins that, gets jumps Ankalaev and gets Ulberg.
But when I'm looking at the rankings right now, Rusted, it's Alex is number 1, which he shouldn't be because he's a heavyweight now. Mag is 2. Yuri's 3, Paulo's 4, Jamal Hill, who also is about 300 pounds right now, should not be in the light heavyweight rankings.
So fat.
Is 5. Khalil Roundtree 6. He's injured. So I agree that he does have kind of not a fan favorite style. However, if it was a different division, I may have a different opinion. But in light heavyweight, I do think they give him that shot next. And guys, we're going to cut here because we're going to reconfigure the room and do our immediate recap on the fight. So don't go anywhere. Give us about 10 minutes and we will be back. Thank you all who hung out and watched.
Just go get yourself a refresher of your refreshments. go use the bathroom. We'll be back in about 5 or 10 minutes, and we'll do the full recap of the main card. So come hang out. Don't leave us just yet because we got another video coming your way.
We'll be back in 10, guys. Thanks so much.